Culture right now is doing a major 180. Dude, I am so here for it. I can't wait. I've got so many videos lined up today. I don't even know if I'm going to get through them all. I don't know if I'll have time. I've been doing this 3-hour show that I've been uploading daily and then uploading the clips from that. Like, dude, it's so much. So many things are happening. I don't even have any more time. I don't have time to myself anymore. The only time I have is while videos are uploading. Then I get a little bit of time. So let's jump into this first situation. Emiru confirms she's pressing charges after TwitchCon attack. Good. Good. I'm glad somebody's actually doing something. Because it tends to be whenever people commit crimes against them, they don't press charges or get the authorities involved whatsoever. Because, I don't know, they feel sorry for the people that are the criminals. Because they're like, well, they're a criminal for a reason. Usually criminals are criminals because they're fucking stupid and evil. Anyway, let's just jump right into it, man. I've got a link down there in the comments. You should definitely click it. Donate to the Fables Folly farm.
We have an update from the Emiru situation. She has confirmed that she will be pressing charges.
I'm so glad.
Against the man who assaulted her during the meet and greet at TwitchCon 2025 in San Diego. Still no word on what she plans on doing against Twitch.
We might not even hear for like a year. Who knows? But Asmongold's been hinting that there's something going on. Oh man, I got something in my eye. He keeps saying stuff like respect her privacy and things like that. You know, trying to tell people to stop asking if Emiru is going to do anything, if he's heard anything. And if he hasn't heard anything, then he would have said, no, I haven't heard anything. But he's not saying that.
Though. And I have so many thoughts on this situation, but before we even get to it, let's just play the clip of her saying what she plans on doing here, because this is just straight from her lips. Let's hear it.
Like, people are saying this for no reason. Like, I feel like you guys don't get it or something. Like, I could have literally been stabbed yesterday.
Yeah, they don't get it. Actually, I think they actively want it because apparently there was a booth that was selling knives there. Why? And then they threw out Iron Mouse's like gifts that her fans were giving her, but they were selling knives. It makes no sense.
Literally, like.
Which, by the way, a lot of people are like trying to make light of this now. I've seen people being like, "But you weren't stabbed, so what are you complaining about?" It's like, bro, how can you take that as your approach?
Yeah, and also even worse, I've been hearing, "Oh, I hope something would have happened," or "I wish something would have happened," or like, "I have no sympathy for e-girls," and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't care if she's an actual prostitute. There should be no violence. There should be no sexual contact, unwanted sexual contact, or really any sexual contact at all going on at conventions.
Because she didn't die, that she's not allowed to complain that she could have died? Like, what are we doing here?
I have also seen people asking if I'm like taking any type of legal action. I am pressing charges against the guy with the police.
So there you go.
Yep.
So this actually tells me that at least if she is to be believed here, that she knows who the guy is, because she still might just be taking Twitch's word that this guy's banned and they know who he is. Because when she gave this little press conference thing,
I don't believe anything that anybody from Twitch says. I don't believe anything that Twitch itself says, because it's all lies and manipulation. And Asmongold said himself, it's pretty sure they're taking funny money from Hamas. It really, all of the cards line up to show that. It is in the cards.
Situation to give everyone the down low on what's happening. She was going based off of what her manager talking to Twitch told her. And that was that this guy was initially banned for 30 days on Twitch. And that was basically it before they pushed back and stuff like that. So she's assuming that Twitch knows who this person is if they're able to ban them for that period of time. And my pushback on that was, so you're just believing Twitch? Or does Twitch know who this guy was? They actually got his information, and the police filled out an entire like report on this.
That would be crazy if he was actually tied up with Twitch, like he knows people at Twitch, or he was, you know, a Twitch employee. But I could see it. I could see it, or has friends there. You know what I mean? That's the only reason I could come up with that they banned him for 30 days. And like, they know that he was a Twitch user, apparently. Apparently they know which user he was. Like, almost immediately. Like, what? It's so weird. They banned him for 30 days from Twitch. So they know his Twitch handle. So they know him.
Situation with this guy's information. I still don't believe that took place, but I will definitely be eating my words if it did. I'll say, okay, it did. So at this point, I think she's just going based off of the understanding that Twitch does have this guy's information. And again, I don't think Twitch has this guy's information.
As for anything else, I don't know yet because...
Yeah, if they didn't have his information, why would they say that he got a 30-day ban? 30-day ban from what? From Twitch? That's the only thing that I can think of that in that world that makes sense.
I've been having my manager handle all of those like side conversations. So I have no idea, but I don't, it's just not okay.
Okay, so that's the other stuff. She's basically saying it without saying it, basically what she's going to do with Twitch subsequently, if she plans on suing them or not. I think right now she's very hesitant to say anything because she doesn't want to F up her connection with Twitch and the higher ups there that probably do have a good relationship with her. And Dan Clancy
Yeah, fuck them. It sucks, but like, it doesn't matter if you got friends at Twitch. The whole platform Twitch is fucked.
Supposedly knows who she is and is friendly with her. Like, if that's the case, she's probably not wanting to crack any eggs to make an omelet right now. She wants to take care of first things first with this guy. Again, if this all is to be believed, which would mean that they have this guy's information. Again, press X to doubt on that. This comes to us from Game Rant. They said Emiru is pressing charges after TwitchCon attack. Twitch content creator Emiru confirmed in a recent live stream that she has filed a police report and is pressing charges against the man who publicly assaulted her at TwitchCon 2025 in San Diego during a meet and greet session. Following the assault, Emiru stated she is urging other Twitch partners and content creators to consider avoiding any TwitchCon event.
Good. Good. By the way, apparently Twitch was doing background checks on people that were getting into the event, but you were allowed to bring a +1, and they weren't doing background checks on those people. That seems so fucking insane.
And again, with this whole assault that she dealt with, I've seen so many people coming forward with saying, yeah, but he just cut the line and gave her a hug. What's the big deal? What's the problem here? He could have killed her. It looked like the dude had a knife in his hands, at least in a very blurry.
It doesn't even matter if he had a knife in his hand or not. The fact that the possibility exists, the fact that we think he maybe might have been able to because the possibility was there, you can't have that. You can't have that. Imagine if that was like an actual Hollywood celebrity. How freaked out everybody would be.
Security or a camera footage that we had from it. But we'll never know if Twitch did not catch this guy. The incident occurred San Diego Convention Center on the first day of TwitchCon. According to the videos, TwitchCon attendees that surfaced on social media, the assailant crossed multiple barriers to grab Emiru during the meet and greet at the convention.
Multiple barriers, apparently. So who was there to stop him? Twitch had ramped up security, allegedly, apparently, from their own mouth. It's not even allegedly, it was just apparently. But this guy was able to cross multiple barriers. I don't get it. I don't get it. Dude, Twitch is so incompetent. They are so fucked.
The man whose identity is currently unknown at the time of writing, which this, by the way,
I think Twitch is putting in all of the stepping stones for terrorist acts to happen, for violence to happen, because the people who fund them want it. And they have people like Dan Clancy at the top who's not paying attention. You got a bunch of woke freaks on the board who are not paying attention to all of this shit. And that's the way the people who are sending them the funny money want it to be.
Is still highly sus. highly sus. Why is Twitch not putting this guy on blast? What are they afraid of?
They're not afraid of anything, actually. I think they just want things like this to keep happening. They want destruction to keep happening because if you think about them taking funny money from Hamas, you know, the people that are constantly being gassed up by Hasan and Twitch does nothing about it, and Antifa and all of that. Like, it really seems like they just are perpetuating these things. They want these things to happen.
Was subsequently banned.
And they pretend that they're incompetent. And I think that they are incompetent at the same time that they're pretending to be incompetent. They're incompetent and pretending to be even more incompetent.
From Twitch and TwitchCon after Emiru's management prompted the Amazon-owned service to take action hours later. Again, how do they know who this guy was hours later? Twitch issued a statement hours after the incident and said it was working with law enforcement in the ongoing issue. Again, maybe they caught this guy across the street in downtown San Diego on Fifth Avenue. Maybe they found him there. Yeah, sure. But that's taking the assumption that they did find him. Again, until we have any concrete evidence and mugshots of this guy, I'm not believing anyone. Emiru presses.
I'll believe Emiru. That's who I'll believe. And she doesn't know anything about this. So, and I believe that. I believe nobody knows anything about it.
Criminal charges following the TwitchCon assault. In response, Emiru stated that it would be her last TwitchCon event.
Good. Fuck yes. Thank you.
And urged other content creators to consider not going any future events. Additionally, Emiru confirmed during an October 18th live stream she is pressing criminal charges against the man who assaulted her at TwitchCon. Emiru stated that she filed a police report and said that TwitchCon's security staff failed to intervene during the incident. Emiru said she felt as if she could have literally been stabbed during the assault.
Yeah, at the same time, Twitch was selling knives.
Emiru also confirmed that her management pushed Twitch to take harsh actions against the assailant after he was allowed to walk away before being caught sometime after, which again, this is just what Twitch told her. Still no proof of that other than trust me, bro. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't trust Twitch as far as I could throw them. Emiru
yeah, they actually support terrorism. So, like, I don't believe a fucking word they say, and she shouldn't either.
Disputed Twitch's claims of a quick response, calling them a blatant lie during her October 18th broadcast, and expressed disappointment in Twitch's support following the incident.
Honestly, she should have seen this coming, especially with everybody who was warning everyone that this was going to be an absolute disaster. And I'm so glad nothing bad happened. But like Asmongold said, this kind of shit was going to start happening, and it's going to get worse. And I think they are going to have another TwitchCon next year, or maybe even this year have another one. And it's going to be so bad. And I think ramping up the police presence and the security isn't even going to work. I think by doing that, it's going to make people freak out even more. And it's going to make it worse, and it's going to make the likelihood of something taking place go way up through the roof. Because people nowadays have been crashing out with the more police presence there are. They don't give a fuck.
Following the assault on Emiru, Twitch CEO Dan Clancy said that the safety of content creators and fans is a top priority for Twitch.
No, it's not. He said that while he was out partying. How is it a top priority for Dan Clancy at Twitch, the CEO? He was out partying. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck about the event. He just wanted to party.
Not, by the way, not the top priority. It is a top priority. Clancy.
Yeah, there could be like 50 top priorities. And it could be number 50 or even 49.
This guy's such a fuck up. Clancy said that challenges could still present themselves despite the increased security at TwitchCon following Emiru's assault, and said that he was keeping a close eye on the situation. I'm telling you guys.
I think he was keeping a close eye on Emiru's chest.
Guys, I've been to so many conventions in my day. Many of them are all, to a T, actually, I should say, everyone I've ever been to, professionally managed, professionally run, never felt unsafe, never felt concerned, nothing. Can a convention do security to the point of making you feel that way? No, they can't. It's too big of an environment. Too many problems can arise. The reason why I've never felt threatened is because of the environment that is created going into the event, where it's just chill people who love retro games.
Yeah, at TwitchCon, you got a whole bunch of people who follow people like Hasan, follow people like Destiny, follow people like Mike from PA. Well, maybe like 2 of them.
Want to chat about gaming, want to chat about content creation, want to talk to their favorite YouTubers. There's never any kind of angle of drama, like ever. With TwitchCon, it's very different because of the environment that they themselves in Twitch proper, Twitch CEO and below have cultivated an environment of psychos.
Yep, absolutely. Psychos and terrorist supporters and people who are like actual degenerates and liars and violent fucks.
So yeah, I would not feel safe at TwitchCon. It's not a healthy environment to be in. While Clancy could not divulge any specific details about how Twitch manages security moving forward, he said that part of the process involves working with creators to provide resources.
Yeah, and I think, was it Emiru has said it herself, that it was like $10,000 to use the resources Twitch provides, and most content creators on Twitch, most streamers, they don't even make $10,000 in a year from streaming. So, like, what the fuck?
Or in some cases, taking away their resources, like he did with Emiru. Unfortunately, TwitchCon was not the first time Emiru faced public harassment, as she and other content creators were confronted by a fan in March during a Cis-a-thon event. Emiru has also not responded to Clancy's comments following TwitchCon.
Yeah, probably because she's adding that shit to the lawsuit.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to another one of these, whatever you
Glad to be
call
back.
us. I don't want to ruin your immersion. This is the same day that I just recorded the Everybody's Lying to You video, but I got a lot on my mind. I don't want to bitch, and I kind of just want to share some knowledge with you guys that I've learned over my very long 31 years of life. Oh, man. Oh, man. Grandpa over here. I saw a lot of people saying, by the way, Techno, don't you ever call yourself fucking old ever again. I'm fucking 34 and you're making me feel like I'm made of dust. Sorry, guys. You guys.
Well, the Lord did say that we are from dust and we are dust, and to dust we will return.
You gotta understand, I used to play fucking mobile games to fucking toddlers way back in the day, so all these 14-year-olds are like, oh, by the way, this guy's 28, a fucking unk over here. So, yeah, the internet has made me feel very old very quickly.
Yeah, especially with all the retro posts that I see constantly. It's just like, hey, did you know that this game came out 20 years ago today? And I'm like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I didn't need to know that.
Side note, hopefully I will be getting LASIK surgery for my eyeballs very soon.
Ooh, I need that.
They're not working as good as they used to.
Same.
As well as hoping I'm getting my jaw fixed. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to talk to somebody.
I need to get my teeth fixed.
You guys don't know this. I got into a fight way back in the day, and this Korean kid, jump knee striked me in the jaw, and then I grabbed him in the air and I slammed him on the pavement. And I never saw him again. Maybe he's dead. Who knows? But my jaw has been fucked up ever since. This was over a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And me taking Taekwondo. It's a story for later. Whenever I come back to streaming, I'll tell that story. Everybody's wondering why that fucking weird thing with my jaw. I hate it too. It sucks. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's very important to me. For me to talk to you about, as well as for you to kind of really process this and for you to really think about this. And it's the whole idea of what is a good person? Who are these good people? And I want to explain to you why what society portrays to you as the good guys, good people are not good people. That's probably the name of the YouTube video. So what do I mean by that? Good people aren't good people.
Yeah, all the people who think that they're good people online, or say they're good people online, and try and portray themselves as the best possible person of all time, and they never do anything wrong, they're garbage. They're liars. They're evil. They're manipulating you.
Well, I kind of want to talk to you about something that people, I think, in today's day and age are generally very uninformed of, as well as, due to a overwhelmingly negative extent, do something that appears good but is actually quite bad. And that is acceptance. Now, why is acceptance bad? Acceptance is bad is when, oh man, it's doing that thing again where my right arm looks really big and my left arm looks really small, so it looks like I'm a fucking charger from Left 4 Dead 2, or I'm just a guy with a crazy masturbation addiction, which I am. Used to be. Anyways. By the way, boys, if you're jerking off out there, loosen your grip a little bit, otherwise you're gonna get erectile dysfunction, because
Yep. Hashtag stop gooning.
when you fucking squeeze your dick as hard as you can, makes it very hard to. You know what? We'll get into that on stream. Yeah, acceptance. Not always a great thing. And the reason why I say that is because people who are seen as, you did something nice, or, wow, this guy is so kind, are people who are accepting of everything. When in reality, they're just pussy.
Dude, yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. Cozy streamers, get that shit out of here. Those people are the worst people.
Now, the reason why I say that is because we're in a society where people who are portrayed as being good are, I love this, I love that, I'm open to all manners of life, everyone is beautiful to me. And that sounds really good. It's just like communism. Communism sounds great. Wow, everybody gets everything the same? This is amazing. Too bad it won't work, because corruption exists in this world, as well as what we're going to talk about today on being accepting of everything can lead to a very slippery slope, as well as completely obliterate our youth for not knowing when the buck stops. And when to tell your kids, well, little Timmy, in fact, you're not a dinosaur. You're actually not an Apache attack helicopter, even though you really think that you are. God, Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Just fucking hits, bro.
True.
Anyways.
I don't drink soda anymore, so I'm out on it. But yeah, true. It's Mountain Dew, really good. Baja Blast, probably the best.
So we have a lot of these content creators, a lot in the LA scene where they're just seen as very like...
Actually, I take that back. Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, that's the shit, man.
Fucking phone call. Jesus. Sorry, hopefully that didn't kill the video. A lot of people in the LA scene are very like, oh, we love everybody. Well, I want to just take you on a little line of thought, and I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on my thoughts.
I'll give them.
Which is, okay, so body positivity movement. Do we all remember that? Yes. Oh, being fat is beautiful. You're beautiful the way you are. No, you're not. If you're fat, you're fucking disgusting. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Based.
You need
So
to
true.
get that shit together, because you are killing yourself, and I am not going to sit here.
Yeah, I think being fat should be labeled as a disease like it used to be.
And try to pretend that I'm a good person by telling fucking fat fuck Lard McGee that they're beautiful the way they are, that way they can die at 40. For example, I have a buddy called Shinya. Very fat, very good person, however. And I have never once told him, hey, Shinya, I love you for who you are. Nope, I haven't. Now, I do love the guy, and I mean that. I fucking love this dude. And when I love someone, I tell them what they need to hear. And I say, hey, bro, you're gonna fucking die. You need to get into the gym. You need to change your life, as well as many of my other fat friends. I have taken them to the gym. I have given them the knowledge that they need to get better, rather than saying, aren't I so kind, by saying, I accept you for who you are.
By the way, he's talking about this body positivity. Dude, I get people all the time in my comments telling me that I need to lose weight, that I need to diet, that I'm fat as fuck, and I'm just like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm skinnier than Tectone. Like, are you insane? What, like, are you hallucinating? Is it because whenever I'm leaning back, my front part of my body looks bigger than my head? I don't know, man. So I'm like actually skinny and fit.
Meanwhile, I'll be reading their obituary in 3 years. Absolutely not am I going to be one of these people. And that doesn't make me bad. That makes me someone who cares. It's the same thing with parents and their children. You're not a good parent if little Timmy wants a soda, little Timmy wants a Nerd's Rope, little Timmy wants ice cream. You're not a bad parent if you say, no, Timmy, it's not good for you. They might cry. They might say, wow, that's so mean. I really want it. Well, that fucking sucks because
Yeah.
it's not good for you. And I'm going to tell you what's not good for you because you need to know that because maybe you're too stupid to understand that I will be the bad guy in your life. But me being the bad guy is actually being the guy who's trying to help you the most.
Yeah, that's why they killed Jesus, by the way.
Whereas you have the other, you're in a fucking divorced marriage and you have the mom that gives
Yeah, Jesus told people things that they didn't want to hear, but they needed to hear, and they couldn't handle it, so they killed them for it.
the games, the toys, the candy. They don't make you do shit. And congratulations, you're now raising a fat fuck delinquent that has no skills in real life. They have no discipline, and they're going to fail in modern society. But my God, did you seem like the fun parents? Do you understand what I'm getting at right now? Telling people you're not a good person if you enable people. You're not a good person if you just tell everybody what they need to hear. Good people are the ones who tell you what you need to hear, even when you maybe don't want to hear it. Now, there is a fine line because obviously some people will tell you what they think you need to hear and they're wrong. It's hard to be right. It's hard to really get through to people, and it's very hard to not force what you think on other people. However, do your research, really contemplate what it is that you're about to say to somebody, and really try to put yourself in their shoes and make sure when you tell them what you think they need to hear, that it really is coming from a place of truth and from a place of urgency. Hopefully that makes sense. It's very, very, very difficult. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Now, here's the other thing with mental illnesses, and I'm going to kind of...
Here we go. Here we go. All right, talking about mental illnesses.
Get you guys to kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Are we going to talk about people that like to really get into the vibe of being mentally ill? They really love the fact that they're depressed and want to talk about it all the time. They actually hate it, but they love it. They're addicted to their illnesses.
There's a lot of mental illnesses in this world. There is. There's many, many, many mental illnesses. There's schizophrenia, where people hear voices, they see things. There's depression, where, you know, people are very sad for no particular reason. There's bipolar, where you get very angry, you get very happy, you get very sad very, very, very quickly. There's gender dysphoria, where you think, oh, I'm this gender, or I'm this gender, or, you know, furries. I'm a dog. You're not a bad person if you tell someone to not listen to their mental illnesses. Now, I kind of struggle with this one because this one's kind of very touchy on the internet, but I have a big issue right now with, well, let me give an example. Let's say someone is schizophrenic. Are you are you a good person? You say, yes, little Timmy, listen to the voices in your head. Trust me, they're telling you great things.
That's something that Satan would do.
Kill. They're watching you. They're watching you. Yes, all those voices in your head.
That sounds like everybody who's a part of Antifa.
They're right. I don't really think that's a good thing to say. Bipolar, someone's freaking the fuck out over nothing. No, you're absolutely, completely valid in your emotions. Me dropping that fucking piece of popcorn was completely justified for you to stab me in the fucking neck. No, you're not a good person. And the other thing is that I have a very hard time encouraging people to listen to the voices in their head that might lead them down to committing suicide on a coin flip. Yes, I find 42% suicidal thought rate pretty alarming.
So I'm not a maniac, but I definitely show symptoms of this. I'm not saying that I actually have mania, but I probably do actually. Mania, also known as manic episode or manic syndrome, is a psychiatric condition characterized by a distinct period of abnormally and persistently elevated, expansive, or irritable mood. I don't really have the irritable mood anymore thing, but the elevated, expansive mood where my brain doesn't slow down and I can almost hear it going like a drill speeding up or like a phone about to explode. Like my brain does that. Along with abnormally increased activity or energy. Yep, yeah. Like once a week this happens to me. But I don't fall into it. I don't just let it take me over. I do things to get this out of me. a lot of people would think that I have straight up autism because I just will make noises and start yelling and screaming and singing out loud, which really helps. I don't have this inflated, like, see, I don't have a bunch of the symptoms, and I don't care to be diagnosed because I don't think that I'm a maniac, but I definitely have something, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care.
And I have a hard time really feeling like I'm a good person by telling people, yeah, you do that. It's just not really something that I really want to do. It worries me, and those numbers are staggering. I know a lot of people don't like talking about per capita, and people call that racist, but I'm sorry, if something is more likely to happen at that staggering of a rate at this early on without as much research as we need, it doesn't really make me feel good encouraging that type of behavior.
Oh, yeah. So, by the way, the reason I brought up mania is because I'd like everybody to know that I am an extreme retard.
Now, I will say, going out of your way to absolutely shit on anybody who has committed to that behavior isn't really a great thing to do. However, it's not my position to really tell you what you can or cannot do. I'm just here to tell you what I do. It's scary how there's this kind of culture in today's world where whenever the new thing happens, you have to immediately support it. And if you don't, you're considered a racist, a Nazi, a bigot, this phobe, that phobe. When in reality, people are just trying to figure out what it is that we're saying, why it is that we're saying it, and what's going to happen when we do say it. And people need to be more understanding of people on the fence, just like they want us to be more understanding.
Anybody else hear that cat? Was that on video or was that in my real life? I don't know. There are a lot of cats around here, but I think I heard it in my right ear, which has got the earbud in. I think I'm going insane. Maybe I have schizophrenia.
Of them jumping over the fence. And I feel like that one-way understandness is really unhealthy and honestly really not productive for our society. And I really feel like something's got to give eventually. And I'm not really sure what it is that's going to give, but
the world itself, because it's all going to end.
Yeah, we live in these worlds full of rainbows and butterflies, of sunshines, and well, it's not really that great now, is it? There was a quote.
Yeah, we got to be in the world, not of it.
Of a guy on Twitter who says, all of these people who seem so nice to you in content creation, all of these people.
Okay, it definitely was Tectone. All right. Not going crazy.
Weird as the wholesome ones. When something horrific happens to you in your life, all of those people will be gone. And the people who will then be there are all of the people who you've been warned about that are horrific human beings, and then you meet them and they're actually pretty chill.
Yep.
Now that was said by a person by the name of Milo, and I think that statement really rings true. It's very easy to be happy-go-lucky and accepting and supporting the current thing because that's what everybody wants you to do. They want this new thing to come out and they want you to blindly swallow it.
Yeah, when all the usual suspects are wanting me to follow a trend and call me a piece of shit because I don't want to follow the trend, or like I'm not already following the trend, I'm gonna look into it deeply, man, if it's something that everybody's talking about in culture, because I think everything is bullshit, especially if it's popular, because usually if there's a reason it's popular, it's because somebody is paying for it to be pushed, or people are taking funny money, like Hasan Piker and Twitch itself taking funny money from Hamas, allegedly. Probably.
That's the No Kings, you know, every
Yep.
gender identity movement, the fucking BLM immediately accept the whole George Floyd.
Dude, at least all of those, at least all the ones besides No Kings, we kind of knew what the movement was about. What the fuck is No Kings about? Like, I get it that they think that Trump is a king for some reason, but guess what? If Trump was a king, then the government would be open right now. The government would not be shut down. All of these people crashing out in the streets would be cleaned up. They'd be arrested and locked in a box. Trump is not a king. Like, What the fuck are we even doing, man?
Martyr, and you can't question anything. You can't bring up any autopsies. You can't talk about anything because if you do, you're a Nazi. And I'm sorry. I just want to let you know that these people that you're listening to, they're just looking you in the fucking face and they're lying to your ass.
Yep.
It is, and I mean this.
Yep. Fuck them. I've been watching the internet for so long and being anti-bullshit for so long, I know who's not bullshit.
It is so fucking easy to be a good guy on the internet. It's so easy. It's so easy to know what to say because you just go onto Twitter, you go onto trending, you see whatever posts have the most likes, and then you just shit that out of your mouth. It's not hard. You see the streamers that get the most viewers, and you say, wow, I really like that guy. They're so nice. And then you glaze them.
Yeah, I watch probably Asmongold and Nuxanor more than anybody in the world, and I shit on Asmongold constantly. But I like Asmongold a lot, even though he is kind of a horrible person. But I think that there's probably going to be a place for that horrible person in heaven. Same with Nuxanor, even though he's a Jew.
People trying to make corrections to this world, people trying to right the wrongs of this world, they're the ones following the path of the most resistance, because it's easy to go with the flow. It's easy to eat candy every day. But the problem
fuck that flow. I'm flowing with the Lord, baby.
Is that sometimes you got to tell people what they don't want to hear because you know that's what's going to lead to their betterment long term. Those uncomfortable talks are where people grow the most, and going with the flow and letting everybody do what they want all the time is very dangerous. It is. It just is. And I think that people really need to start taking note of behaviors like this, because the events that have been transpiring over the past several weeks of us witnessing in real time so many people looking to the camera and lying to you are the same people who say, I love everything, I love everybody, I'm supportive of the popular thing, I said the thing that you wanted me to say. I'm sorry, guys. There are so many fucking liars in this world. It's insane. And the more I step back, and this is why I'm loving this little break.
Yeah, that is a funny thing, by the way. All the people who shit on me in the comments, all the people who shit on me on X, they never call me a liar.
I'm doing, which fucking, I've been done with this break since like 2 weeks. I'm good to go. I feel great.
I mean, they call me a grifter, but I mean, that doesn't even mean anything.
But the more that I stay away, the more I can observe. Because when you exist in an environment, it's hard to be aware of everything. But when you can observe an environment, then you see everything. And I've seen so many people for who they are. I've seen so many people for what they do. And it's mind-boggling. It's eye-opening. But I can firmly say
that Fables Folly is the best guy ever and you should subscribe to him.
There's not a single person
never mind.
I like.
Yeah, I almost thought he was going to mention my name.
That I'm not liked back by. Everybody I have in my life right now is exactly who I want to be in my life right now, because I know these people. I've had the opportunity to understand them.
Same.
And the most important thing that I'm attempting to do...
Dude, I was literally homeless, and my best friend from high school, his whole family took me in, and everybody here is amazing. We all go to the same church together, and we're like in a community. We all help each other out. I'm literally living in a shed that they hooked up power to, and they're just like giving me things. Like, I just got a brand new air fryer the other day. And that shit's awesome. I love air fryers. Letting me use their internet. Like, it's awesome. Letting me use their laundry machines. It's so good. We've got animals and stuff here. We got like a actual farm going, like an actual community, and we're moving everybody to the mountains pretty soon. And that's going to be awesome. By the way, if you want to contribute to that, I've got a PayPal link down there in the comments. You should totally donate.
Right now is only have strong people in my life that aren't just going to bend the knee to whatever social media wants them to say. I'm sorry. If you are apologizing for merely talking to someone for a conversation, go fuck yourself. I knew everybody didn't want me to talk to Destiny. I don't care. I did that shit just to see if I had anybody that I would lose because I talked to them. Nobody. Nope. Fucking nobody. There is no way I am ever going to have a community full of fucking pussies that are going to police my behavior that much because, well, we heard a rumor about this guy. Go fuck yourself. It's a conversation. Same thing for anybody who ever apologizes because they merely talk to Asmon. Eat a fucking dick.
Yeah, Valkyrie. That's who he's talking about directly right now. But there's so many others. It's not just her. She's the most recent case, the biggest case of as of late.
Fucking loser ass pussy bitch, insane.
Ooh.
And you may think I'm just talking about Hasan's girlfriend. No, many other people have done the exact same thing. I'm not gonna live in this world where I'm gonna pretend people are bad because I heard rumors about them. I'm going to research people. I'm going to find out the truth of this whole controversy. I'm tired of being told that everybody's a neo-Nazi. And
I'll even go against the people that I usually like. I made a video about the whole No Kings thing. Everybody was saying that the drone footage that MSNBC posted was from 2017, and I was like, what? What are you talking about? I remember that situation. I don't remember seeing this video. Show me the link, and dude, I tried so hard to find the link for 2 days, almost constantly asking everybody, please show me the link. And I was just getting shit on constantly by people who are supposed to be on my side, which really tells you something that, like, there are bad people on both sides, even though the leftoids are really the most violent ones. Most of the violence happens on the left. But on the right, there's a lot of people that just are really stupid and just eat up whatever they read online also. Like, if all of their people started saying to be violent, I think that these retards that are reading everything online and only reading the right, they would be violent. That's just not what the right's talking about right now, so that's not a thing that's happening. But look at Ireland, man. We're going to look at that later.
Things that I've said in this video are the same things that people would tell you if you went to Walmart at 3 a.m., and I'm tired of pretending that they're not. We need to stop treating social media like this butterfly sprinkle rainbow magic world and get back to brass tacks.
Dude, social media is such bullshit. I don't believe anything that I read. I don't believe anything. Even if it's like outright something that seems like it'd be the truth, I look at who's posting it, who's talking about it, and it just like everything smells like bullshit. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be in the world, not of it.
Get back to our roots and let's get back to reality, guys. Because it's a shame how many people play pretend and tell you good people are horrible just because they disagree with a couple of opinions they have.
Yep.
I have many friends that I agree with on a lot of things, and I have many friends that I disagree with a lot of things. And the reason why I have that is because, one, they're good people, and two, that makes you more complete of a human being.
Me and my best friend got into a debate about horror movies, and he thinks that Christians and everybody should just not watch horror movies outright. And I think that that's not right, and that it's okay to watch horror movies as long as you're not glorifying the death and the murder and the blood that's going on screen. As long as you're like rooting for the good guy, you know, and you got Christ on your heart. As a Christian, I think it's fine to watch horror movies. And we just kind of left it at that. And that was it. We didn't even like argue about it. We just kind of just had a little back and forth debate. And then we came to our own conclusions. And I don't think either one of us are wrong. I think we're both right. I think you got to use discernment. I don't think horror movies are right for him or anybody that he's raising up. And I think it's fine. So, yeah.
Hope that makes sense. These videos are unscripted. They're very raw. They're off the fucking top. And I probably have dementia. I just don't know it yet.
Yeah, it's probably from that from that Mountain Dew Zero Sugar, man.
Let me know what you think. My audience is growing with me. It's changing quite a lot. And your feedback in the comments is very much welcomed. There's a lot of jokes down in the comments, which I appreciate, but even more so, I appreciate y'all's insight and I appreciate what y'all want to say because I like hearing y'all's perspective. When I do come back, I really do want to be a lot more complete of a human being and be a lot more, even more outspoken than I previously was, if you can even imagine that. Doing a lot of research, doing a lot of training, and I'm doing a lot of studying. And I hope that shows. I really appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. And
I did.
Don't let these people think that you're a bad person just because you have to give.
Yeah, I just laugh at those people. Anybody who's gonna lie to me, anybody's gonna lie about me, I just laugh at them. I make fun of them because they think that they affect me. And they're the ones coming in raging and insulting. And I'm just like, bro, you guys are so cooked. You're so cooked, man. Well, let's jump over to some Ludwig news. He just exposed Hasan. Holy shit. I saw a clip of this for like 2 seconds and I was like, nope, I gotta click off of that because I have to watch it on my Fables Folly show. You should definitely subscribe, man.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm having a hard time getting these words out of my mouth, but Rare Ludwig W. True story, guys. I was playing Battlefield.
Are we gonna have to drop the Jellywig name and start calling him Ludwig again? Oh, please. Oh, please let this be true.
Battlefield 6 and sucking a lot, all right? That is the gameplay you're seeing. I'm new to the game. Please do not make fun of my gameplay. Do not bully me. Please don't make me cry. After doing quite a bit of sucking, I decided to open Twitter. We have so much to talk about. Ludwig finally talks about the Hasan shock collar. And don't worry, this video isn't just about the Hasan shock collar. It's been like 2 weeks. Something very interesting did come out about that. So we're going to talk about that. A lot to talk about, so little time. Make sure you're subscribed, drop a like. All right, if you follow me on Twitter, which if you haven't, make sure you do. If you follow me on Twitter, you definitely saw me talking about this. Ludwig, Hasan's lapdog.
It was who I saw, and that's why I'm watching Sensitive Society.
Actually said something that shocked me. No pun intended.
Do I think Hasan shocked his dog? I have no fucking clue. I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock.
Yeah. Oh, shit, dude. Okay. All right. He admits that he thinks that Hasan was lying about the shock collar. And I think that if you lie about one thing, the whole thing's fucked up. And you just can't believe anything.
Shock collar based off what's on my For You page. Maybe I'm getting psyoped. He's adamant that he hasn't shocked her. But that 100% is a shock collar, as a fact.
Yeah, so it's not 100% that he didn't shock her if that's 100% a shock collar.
I feel like that shit is 100% a shock collar. But I got no clue.
You know, it takes a little to grow a spine. But hey, baby steps, all right? This is definitely towards the right direction.
Yeah, he's got a malleable spine right now. It's like a little baby spine. And Hasan's definitely going to be upset about this one.
And I called it. I called it ever since this came out. I don't care if you tell me that it was taped, that the prongs got taken out, that it was...
Yeah, Hasan's going to immediately attack Ludwig over this instead of taking accountability and being like, yeah, I lied about that. I was just trying to save face, you know. I didn't want it to be a big deal. And then it ended up being an even bigger deal because I said that. He's not going to do that. He's going to straight up cut off Ludwig. He's going to lie about Ludwig, most likely.
Manipulated and this and that. Is it a shock collar or is it not? And I do believe it is. And now
I think Ludwig is in this point where even if Hasan does say anything to or about Ludwig, that everybody's going to be on Ludwig's side on this. Dude, Hasan is completely fucked.
Get Ludwig saying this, which, I mean, I didn't need Ludwig's confirmation for me to be like, yeah, that's a shock collar. I said this a few videos ago. You don't need to have Albert Einstein IQ to know that was a shock collar, but I digress. Like I said, I was shocked. I even tweeted, rare
Dude, I am too.
W, the fuck? I was
We can't call him Jellywig anymore.
shook. I was just like, is this AI? This has got to be AI, because Ludwig not sitting on the fence, not protecting his son. What is going on? Are we living in an alternative timeline? Now, the question is,
Is he gonna make a mogul mail about it?
Will Hasan tell Ludwig to take this down or to apologize?
And I think when you come in and you say, "Oh no, you're
Oh,
gonna
he's definitely gonna tell him to take it down.
get the Hasan call now," I think like you are like genuinely pathetic.
Okay, well, fuck you, Ludwig. My feelings are hurt. Guys, Ludwig thinks I am fucking pathetic. My day is ruined. All right, if Ludwig says it, that's the law. All kidding aside, I'm glad he finally decided to, you know, stop being Hasan's lapdog and finally standing up.
Well, I don't know about that. We might be giving him the title Jellywig back, probably immediately. But there for that split second, he does not. He is Ludwig. That was Ludwig. That just popped out for a second, and he might just be going right back to Jellywig.
For once, if this shit would have happened like 2 years ago, he wouldn't have said anything. But I think at this point, he just doesn't care, which is good. I mean, if you're already a multimillionaire and you're set for life and you don't need anyone else, dude, why not?
Yeah, and it's actually he's being pulled down because of his defense for Hasan and being on Hasan's side on everything.
Say that, but you know, it is what it is.
Like you are still pretending to live in a universe where it is like brave to speak out against Hasan, as if that is not like
It's not brave to speak out against Hasan. Everybody should be speaking out against Hasan. What would be brave to speak out against Hasan is if Ludwig would actually speak out against Hasan. It was kind of brave for him to be like, no, he 100% lied about that being a shot caller.
the popular side to be on. It truly, I think it's pathetic.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck what's popular. I do not give a fuck. I was saying this shit when I felt like I was the only one saying it.
Aside, once again, I'm glad we got the Ludwig awakening. We got Ludwig standing up for himself before GTA 6, which is a crazy thing to say out loud.
I was an early adopter, man, and then people started lining up behind me.
Jellywig standing up for once. Okay, let me make sure I've taken my meds, because I'm tripping. I mean, he's right, and anyone that defended Hasan Piker, or anyone that was like, that wasn't a shot color, that was a vibration color, whatever people were calling it. What do you have to say about this? I mean, QT Cinderella, Ludwig's girlfriend, confirmed that it was taped, it was played with, it had the prongs taken out. Ludwig says this. Yeah, all the people that were defending Hasan, you look pretty fucking stupid now, all right?
Yep.
And I don't, because sense is never wrong. No, never. I can't remember a time I was. Wink, wink.
Oh, did I misunderstand what he was talking about, or was he literally talking about both sides right there whenever he was saying that if you believe in the popular take, then you're a moron. If you believe in it just because of the popular take, you're just defending Hasan because it's popular, that's bad. Is that what he was saying? Or was he saying the other way, if you're against Hasan because it's popular, that's bad? Either way, both are bad. You shouldn't be having the popular take just because it's popular. Think for yourself. Don't be sheep. Unless you're a sheep for the Lord, am I right? The Lord is my shepherd.
But wait, there's some more.
I wanted to talk about that because this comes from a video that I uploaded almost 2 years ago. I think it was end of February 2024. This is the reason why this happens. All right. I uploaded this video called Huge Streaming Drama. Now, the reason I uploaded this video is because it was February 27th. I had a sponsor and I wanted to make a lot of money. So I uploaded a video that talked about
More honesty. Like, holy shit. Like, what is going on here?
really not much. It was a filler video.
Now, because you guys don't know, this is a video that everyone pretty much clowns Ludwig on for.
Yeah.
And everyone clowned it on Ludwig because, well...
And he admits that he made it for money. But we knew that.
That was pretty cringe and pathetic for someone to be upset, and especially someone like Hasan. I have this thing and I'm like, multimillionaires shouldn't be complaining. Like, just keep your fucking mouth shut, dude. And if you don't want to be cyberbullied, don't say retarded shit or support terrorism. I mean, it's really quite simple. Oh yeah, and don't abuse dogs. There's also that. You don't want people to call you out. You could also, you know, not be saying that kind of stuff or be doing.
Hasan saying that streaming is harder than a 9 to 5.
It is.
Fun at Hasan. And then I went on to do a sponsored ad read. I forget for what sponsor. And then filled up some bullshit, called it a day, made some money. Easy gig. Until Hasan reacted to it on stream. And then the video got a bit brigaded by Hasan fans who are upset. And the sponsors, not so happy these days. I don't know if you know this. When Hasan comes up for sponsored deliverables. So I took.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't allowed at that event that they were having where AT&T was sponsoring them. Didn't want Hasan anywhere near that shit.
Took it down. All right. I uploaded the sponsor at a later date, and then I re-uploaded the video. But because of that, I inserted myself into some shit that has been with me for 18 months. Bitch move? Maybe, but I also don't care to die on the hill. I don't think I was like making a poignant statement about how I disagree with Hasan's politics. I think it was the equivalent of haha.
I don't think Ludwig knows anything about Hasan's politics, and anybody that's shitting on Hasan, he was just like, no, I don't want to hear it. I think that was the problem. I don't think he actually knows what Hasan thinks. I don't think he actually knows that Hasan calls for violence constantly and is an actual terrorist supporter.
Hasan said 9 to 5s are easier than streaming. Anyway, check out this sponsor. So it's not like a moral hill that I was here to die on. It was, hey, I don't want to deal with the brigading from Hasan fans. I'm here to do this for a paycheck. So let me delete it. Was it the right move to make? Probably not, but it's the move I made at the time. It is what it is.
I mean, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has those days. So, I mean, hey, no streamer, no YouTuber is perfect. Instead of standing his ground and be like, no, Hasan, I don't give a fuck if your feelings are hurt. You're 40 years old. You're a multi-millionaire. Be able to take some fucking criticism.
40 years
right?
old.
I thought that was pretty spineless and pretty weak of him to be like, no, okay, Hasan, I'll change the title for you and I'll change the thumbnail. Yada, yada, yada. I'll do whatever you want. I thought that was pretty stupid, but hey, you know, character development is real. Now, does this mean that I'm gonna become a Ludwig fan? No. People give moist.
He's definitely gonna be reacted to just a little bit more than usual now, I think. I think he's gonna go up in popularity just a little bit.
Critical Charlie a lot of shit for being a fence sitter or for saying the safe shit, but critical legitimately within 24 hours of the dog collar situation going down, he made a video about Hasan. He has no problem.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that Charlie made a video about Hasan and shitting all over him.
Calling out these big,
because that wasn't the popular take. And dude, so many people got mad at him. I think that he kind of knew that people were mad, so he was like, I'm gonna have to make a video shitting on Trump and Israel. So that was kind of shitty. I don't think he should have been a part of those situations at all. But didn't make me stop watching them, you know? Because I'm kind of on board with what Charlie was saying. But I'm also very, very much against the leftoids and what they have to say. So I'm torn on it. That's why I don't really give a fuck. Fuck politics.
Streamers, YouTubers, whatever it might be, critical cult is on that within 24 hours. And then Hasan cried and crashed out and started calling Charlie all sorts of things, but you know, pretty rare Jellywig W saying that it was a shock collar. Now granted, it's been like 10 years since this controversy went down, but I mean, at least he said something, I guess. Who the fuck made this edit? Delete the video or I will shock color you to death. I mean, if I was Ludwig, I would have never changed the title or thumbnail of my Hasan video. I don't care if he got mad. Even if he did, well, you can talk to me about it. But I'm not going to change anything just because you or your fucking cult are upset at me, all right? I don't care. Hasan fans being insane? No. What do you mean? All Hasan fans are rational.
You don't say! Hasan fans are degenerate, violent freaks?
Now, talking about Hasan, this tweet started going pretty viral, and I'm gonna try to censor it a bit because it is a bit nasty. It says, holy shit, old Hasan Piker recording with his previous dog Fish.
Very much seems like either the dog got caught on something and it was an accident, or he was using a prong collar, which would be the worst case. But he's either way, he wasn't patching up that wound and he did not care. I'd be worried about my dog if she had a wound like that on her neck.
There was an up and cut on the dog's neck where her son used the prong collar. This guy should not have a dog. And I'm looking at the images because knowing how YouTube is, they're probably going to take it down. It's a pretty nasty cut. I mean, I'm seeing blood. He's not beating the dog abuse allegations anytime soon. The collar,
dude, and dude, even today, more videos are coming out.
That the dog Fish, I don't know if it's dead or alive. I don't know what happened to Fish. Can anyone let me know? That'd be great. The collar looks so tight. Can pet stores please stop giving animals to Hasan? This is related to Hasan. A few days ago, a bombshell dropped
that keeps his girlfriend a secret.
Right.
You know why, right? And I know this. I'll just spill the beans. I don't care at all about him. That's his.
Because he's an e-boy and Valkyrie is an e-girl. They can't be in a relationship because they have to have the people in their chat be in a parasocial relationship with them. That's exactly why.
Decision. I asked. I said, why do you keep your relationship with Valkyrie a secret? Who cares? Just you guys are dating, be together.
Because let me guess.
And it was his decision. Because he says he doesn't want people harassing her. It's like, I'm like, she's already like a huge
I can guess why.
internet personality.
He likes everybody dreaming of being with him.
That's obviously why, and that's why women do it too.
Like Taylor Lorenz.
I mean, that is true. I'm sure he does this so all the terminally ill girls and guys who find him hot, they're like, oh, you know, maybe if I give him more money, he'll notice me and then we could be together and have 3 baby Hasans together, right? It's terminally online individuals who aren't all there, who fantasize about having little Hasans, not knowing that the guy is fucking insane. Not surprised at all to me that it was his decision to do that. Oh, it's just so my girl doesn't get harassed. I mean, I guess that would be valid if she was either A, unknown, or B, had like 5 or 100 followers on IG or Twitch, whatever it might be. I mean, dude, this is someone with millions of followers across social media. XQC reveals that Ludwig hasn't talked to his son in a while. Massive day for unemployed people like me.
He hasn't really been hanging out or talking to his son for the longest time. Like, so the whole take that I had, that like, oh, Ludwig's not important topic at all, right? Because it's his best friend. They haven't been talking. Maybe some drama, probably not. Maybe just whatever. But and I believe him. Ludwig is like.
Yeah, I also believe him. I don't think that he's actually friends with anybody that he's in the streaming space with. I think he's got friends outside the streaming space. I think he said that, didn't he? That like all of his actual friends make fun of him because he hangs out with streamers for money and power and fame, you know? And I could see it. That's still just corporate bullshit that I will never be a part of. I don't know, man. I don't see how people can get into that unless they've just been into that culture for their entire life. I'm in the type of culture where I want to be left alone out in the woods. Like, I want to be the guy on the mountaintop screaming into the radio.
The minute Ludwig ever lies to me, ever, like anybody else, then they're in my head in the bad zone, the zone you don't want to be in. Like, don't lie.
2 years ago, the situation with Ludwig and his son, and Ludwig calling his son out in a joking manner, was around that time. Could it be because of that? Could his son still be salty because Ludwig dared to criticize the champagne socialist multimillionaire? Could that be it? Maybe. I wouldn't put it past him. We've seen time and time again just how fragile Hasan is. But yeah, guys, I think that's enough unemployment for all of us.
Yep. Dude, I cannot wait for the next Hasan drama, because you know there's going to be more of it, man. It never stops. The drama slop keeps going, and it keeps getting worse for that dude, because he just cannot stop engaging with drama and talking about it and making himself look worse, making himself look like a bigger fucking idiot than the last time he got himself into drama. It's just like, it's so bad. It is so bad. Like, how do people actually follow this dude? It has to be parasocial to the max at this point. I've got a link down there in the comments. You should definitely click it. Donate to the Fables Folly farm. No, dude, it's getting out of control, man. Even Ludwig came out against this guy, which I didn't see that coming. You should definitely check out that video that I made. I think it's literally the last video that I made before this one. Twitch just got completely fucked, and it keeps getting worse. Like I've been saying, like so many others have been saying, that everything just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and eventually all of this shit's gonna collapse.
Welcome back to a series so jolting. Even Bolt subscribed.
No, don't remind me of that. I don't want to remember the scientist from Full Metal Alchemist combining his daughter with a dog. That was the saddest shit ever, man. That was almost as sad as Grave of the Fireflies.
In today's video, streamer Skara from Offline TV claims that Twitch CEO Dan Clancy was hanging around young girls at TwitchCon. A clip is going viral of Dan in a suspicious situation. Asmongold has responded.
And dude, like, he should have just went on camera and said hi to the people that were like, oh, that's Dan Clancy, instead of trying to hide like he wasn't there. Like, that looks so fucking bad.
Absolutely cooking Twitch. Rank number 1 Hasan simp Taylor Lorenz is claiming TwitchCon was a very secure event. Streamer Cinna has responded cooking Taylor for being an idiot. VTubers, including Iron Mouse, are reporting that Twitch staff threw out gifts from fans. People are
crazy.
Absolutely pissed.
And like, I can see where Twitch could have been coming from by not allowing gifts from fans, but they went about it in a really shitty way, and we'll get into that whenever he brings it up.
Twitch security has been exposed again for being absolutely trash, getting tricked by streamer Neon. Streamer FanFan is calling out Twitch for their PR moves.
Dude, everybody's calling out Twitch. Holy shit.
The Hasan dog shocking saga continues, and a bunch of more updates.
Yeah, dude, how many weeks is it? Is it gone past 2 weeks now?
Subscribe, or you gotta attend a Dan Clancy party. Ain't no party like a Dan Clancy party.
Dude, I'd like to go to a Dan Clancy party. Because, bro, let me tell you, I would crash it.
Now let's begin. Now last time, streamer Emiru was SA'd at TwitchCon and Twitch CEO Dan Clancy and his team did—
Oh, but she didn't get stabbed. What's the problem? The problem is she could have been. That is a huge security issue. Especially Emiru being like the top streamer or one of the top streamers. She is a top streamer at the very least.
Absolutely nothing about it. Initially just gave the guy a 30-day ban on Twitch, and this sparked a massive drama.
Which, by the way, if they gave that guy a 30-day ban on Twitch so they know who he is, they know the guy.
So that brings us to today. Streamer Skara from Offline TV has revealed some damning information about ultimate gooning lord Dan Clancy. Skara reveals that he heard Dan Clancy was hanging out with young women at TwitchCon.
And I know this guy somewhat, and he's not a liar. So this is really fucking bad.
Yeah, I've heard, like, this one was crazy. I heard Dan Clancy was out a lot of nights with young girls around him, which, whatever, man. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But like,
yeah, sure, but he is a CEO of a giant degenerate company, so, you know, and he's also married.
Like, it just felt like this con felt so fucking weird, man. Whatever. Like, I mean, last year I told myself I don't like TwitchCon, and so many people were like, "Why do you like TwitchCon?" And I'm like, well, how long do we have? But even more problems end up popping up, and really, I think that this is going to be one of the last TwitchCons that people go to. The attendance this year was terrible.
Right, so according to Skara here, apparently Dan, the dynamic diddler Clancy, age 61, is hanging out with—
Dude, I used to go to conventions. They used to be really cool. People used to dress up, and it was like really awesome. It was a cool environment. And slowly over time, it was taken over by freaks. And I just had enough of it, because there was a bunch of people that were like basically almost naked everywhere. A bunch of gay stuff everywhere. I was totally out on it whenever that started happening. And that really didn't even start happening until like 2016.
With young girls for some unknown reason here. Maybe he's just innocently, you know, hanging around with 20-year-old girls, of course, right? Old men and 20-year-old girls, they have a lot in common, if you ask me. You know, they can very—
I just want to say, by the way, when we had the gay stuff at its maximum, I was like, this is what all the corporations are siding with. And I think the next thing is we're going to have a problem with terrorism. I said that years ago. When I first started this channel, that's what I was talking about. And here we are. We're at the beginnings of it. And I think it's about to get much, much worse.
Relate on a lot of things. Don't ask me to name those things. Now, we obviously know what's on Dan Clancy's phone, right? Absolutely just filled with a bunch of e-girls. We also know his favorite streamer is Extra Emily for some weird reason, and Hasan, of course, is One True Love. And we also know he let a live birth take place on twitch.tv, and the woman was selling an OnlyFans as well. Really messed up shit. So that's sort of the moral compass of Dan Clancy here. Also, this is a guy who has a reputation for being a wholesome, sort of non-toxic, non-drama guy, and most people would say that he's not just going to lie about this, make up some random shit about this. He has no reason to. It is extremely weird that an 80-year-old CEO is creeping on 20-year-old girls. Like, what the frick? Red flag ethics issue. This is beyond old guy at the club stuff. You don't have to stay home, but it's very odd he's chatting up girls who could be his grandkids. Listen, I feel like it's one thing if you're this random old guy as well, but if you're Twitch CEO and you have a platform filled with these type of girls, you know, who are young streamers or whatever.
Yeah, and they're definitely using him to possibly become more famous, to be pushed in the algorithm, to be on the front page and all of that. And he's using them for sexual gratification, because why else would he be hanging out with all of these 18, 20-year-old girls?
And you go out there and you're just like, interesting. Pace is right now seeing more Dan Clancy drama. Okay, that is me. Come on. All right, you got me. Dan is a creepy F who probably gives perks for favors. This will all unravel and this creepy ass man will be exposed. And we just got whatever this is. Lotion? I mean,
yeah, this is the same kind of shit that Harvey Weinstein got thrown into prison for, by the way. Same shit, man.
Clancy is a perfect CEO. He represents everything the platform has become. Is there?
I'm just waiting for people to start coming out against Dan Clancy, a bunch of girls that slept with him, but I think that they're embarrassed about it, so they haven't come out. The same way Harvey Weinstein situation happened.
A single other company that wouldn't have fired their CEO for all this? Is there a Clancy client list and is Jeff Bezos on it? Now, another clip is going viral of Dan apparently being caught with the girl. It's like, it just looks weird.
Wait, there's Dan Clancy. Show me.
Yeah, and if he didn't think it was a problem, why was he trying to hide?
Dan Clancy again?
No.
Tell Dan Clancy we said was.
There's no way. Wait, Dan Clancy, do you know who I am? Wait, let me ask. That's literally him. Wait, Dan. Wait, Dan Clancy.
Show Daniel Clancy.
Wait, Dan. Dude, I literally just saw Dan Clancy. On my soul, I did. Did you see him, Nate? I fucking saw his ass.
Okay, so I'm gonna be completely fair here, right? Just being seen with a younger girl doesn't actually mean anything, but the question remains, why did he sort of hide from camera there?
Right?
I don't know,
Right?
Maybe she's his daughter, maybe granddaughter,
I'm not alone on this, apparently. Holy shit, man.
right? Maybe I'm huffing copium. Who knows? It's one of his family friend's daughter, right? And she's excited to meet the Twitch CEO, right? That's what I'm hoping is happening here. Surely this can be explained in a completely reasonable way, right?
Yeah, except for it's a pattern, so I don't think that's it, man.
Don't look at his phone, though. You might be in there, right? You never want to look at his phone. Don't make the mistake of clicking Dan Clancy's phone. Anyways, I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. Depends on the full context of it. Take it as you will, you know? This isn't even implausible because that's all he does on stream as well. Never forget this moment, and it literally looks like an OnlyFans feed. Oh, we'll get to that. Still can't believe the Twitch CEO is an old goon lord. Actually, the word is ultimate gooning lord. The hot tub section makes sense now. Dude, remember all those rule changes of, like, you know, artistic N-word is allowed and stuff like that, you know, body pain, all these different metas they were having. Imagine knowing your boss jerks off to your streams. Weird. They probably know and they probably don't even care because a lot of these people are completely morally bankrupt and they just care about more like OnlyFans subscriptions or...
Dude, I've known so many old men who, like, are into this kind of thing, and I don't even think they're actually whacking it. I think they're just like, there's something weird going on in their brain where, like, they're like, yes, boobies, because they didn't really have that kind of thing whenever they were a kid and also an adult. When they grew up They were an adult whenever the internet started to get good.
more money to their bank account. You know, they'd be perfectly happy having sort of a relationship with Dan so they can further their career.
Like, Dan was starting to age by the time the internet started to get popular. That's crazy. Like, he was, how old was he when social media was really becoming a thing? Because that was like, what, 20 years ago? He would have been in his 40s. Like, bro, holy shit.
Totally can. Twitch has always given women, specifically ones who like to show off their bodies, preferential treatment. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for uplifting women, but you've always been able to tell it isn't exactly coming from the best place. Okay, if you think empowerment is going nude, I mean, that's a different conversation, all right? Come on. I mean, if Twitch actually thinks that's a legitimate thing, you're so brain broken. Right, so Asmongold responded,
I've been seeing on this here, Skara. I mean, when does this guy ever make up bullshit? If you have Skara saying this,
yeah, I've heard, like, this one was crazy.
This one was crazy.
I heard Dan Clancy was out a lot of nights.
He's out a lot of nights
girls
with young girls
around him, which, whatever, man. If that's your thing, that's your thing.
I feel like if that's your thing, if you are running a website that's got a bunch of young pretty girls on it, I mean, this shit does not look good. It does not look good.
It just felt like this con felt so fucking weird.
I think it's on purpose. I think the people that are supporting Twitch, that are propping Twitch up, that are giving Twitch money, have Dan Clancy there on purpose to be incompetent. So that crazy things can happen behind the scenes. And not even just behind the scenes, like out in front of our faces.
Weird, man.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to be one of the last Twitch cons that people go to. The attendance this year was terrible.
There's no way. Wait, Dan Clancy, do you know who I am? Wait, let me ask. That's
He
literally
hides.
him.
He's hiding.
Wait, Dan Clancy.
You know what makes this clip so bad is that he didn't want to be on camera. Immediately leaving the frame does not look good. 80% of his feed is
clips.
That's very nice.
And now you have a clips feed. Suppose you want to check out the stories. See what you missed yesterday. You click there, and now you're in your stories feed. Okay?
Your feed can only look like that, by the way, if that's the kind of content that you're watching. My Twitch feed, I barely use it, but my Twitch feed is literally like Asmongold, XQC, fucking... I think the closest I have to Goonerbait would be like... It used to be Melanie Mac, but I think she got banned. That was the closest, and she is absolutely not Goonerbait. I watch a lot of VTubers, or I did watch a lot of VTubers on Twitch. I haven't logged into Twitch in probably a year.
Okay.
Okay.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's also
It's pretty nice. And look at it. Dan Clancy, we care about safety of our female creators. What is this? What is he doing?
Fucking tech drone, alright.
Dan Clancy saw the writing on the wall. He decided to use...
to use TwitchCon as a last goon hurrah before Amazon gives him the boot.
Oh, God.
Yeah, everybody's talking about this. This is so bad, but I don't think anything's gonna happen. I think we're just going to keep talking about this, and things are going to keep happening for a long time. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm usually not, though, and it's fucking sad.
did this man just attempt to lift up a woman, and he was so weak, he ended up pile driving her into the ground. That is diabolical, bro. Oh my god. What is he doing? I've never seen
He just wanted to touch her butt. That's the only reason. Like, he's so excited that he got to touch an attractive female streamer that he probably goons to every day.
man embarrass himself. Okay, maybe Mike from PA might be like a contender to this, but dude, if you can't do it, don't do it. Oh my god, that is so...
Dude, all these people are the fucking same.
Also, this guy is 61. What are you doing? Stop. It is so embarrassing. What do your wife and kids think, bro? Not to mention this guy's phone, man. Oh my god. That wasn't like, oh, somebody caught him off guard. That was him proudly showing it to other people. It was a recorded incident. He probably knew they were going to check his phone beforehand, and he's just like, okay, you know, let me be authentic because I'm the cool, authentic CEO, Dan Clancy. Look at me and all my gooning prowess. And I just have one question. Did I lie when I said Dan Clancy is the ultimate gooning lord? People think that I just give out these names willy-nilly. No, they have deep
No, it's pattern recognition, man, and then you slap a name on them. That's what happens.
meaning behind them, whether it be Jellywig or Gooning Lord. Deep and profound. It's a stroke of genius. Okay, I wish I didn't say stroke in that context. Now I'm thinking about Dan Clancy, and I got that image in my head of him stroke. Okay, now it's in your head too. It's too late. You're cooked. So Dan Clancy's been using Twitch as his personal little harem. That is insane. That's an insane statement. Dan Clancy's Goon Recon. We can tell Dan Clancy didn't go to the island. He had all the access he could, so he went to the mainland. Old man CEO hanging around the young talent that works under him. A tale as old as time. Explains a lot of their behavior, honestly. Bad actors protect bad actors. We all know what Dan is. His fall has started. The body slam to the head was brutal. The girl was lucky she wasn't paralyzed.
I think that we need to see how much he spends on OF, on OnlyFans. I bet he spends so much money. So much money, dude.
Dude, I don't know what the heck is wrong with this guy, dude. Like, legitimately, he just wanted to get his hands on somebody. It's absolutely creepy. Hasan is procuring OF girls for Dan. That's why Hasan is protected. Oh my god, bro. Like, the conspiracy theories are just like...
That's exactly what I've been saying. I think Hasan is funneling girls to him.
bubbling right now. Moving on to the rank number 1 Hasan simp, Taylor Lorenz, the hack journalist. Now last time, she interviewed Diddler Clancy and asked him why did he let Emiru get essayed at this event, right?
I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there.
Now,
that's not the way it works, dude. That is so not the way it works, because how are you going to ban somebody talking about you in Hasan's chat? You can't do that. That's not the way it works. And you kick them out of your community, that they can still see you and people still talk about you, and you go into other chats and you just stick with this energy. Like, you have to ban them off the platform completely if they're being freaks.
Taylor obviously did not push him at all because she believes she's on.
You gotta ban them off the platform. Don't allow these freaks at your events. But that's the only people that are on Twitch. That's the only people that are at the events. So what do? It's a rock and a hard place, you know?
On the same side, they're both leftist, Twitch is leftist, we both love Hasan, you know, some weird circle jerk going on there. And she instead said that the event was very secure. So she continues here. Taylor Lorenz defends TwitchCon security measures after a girl got essayed. This is so Taylor.
There are other situations that happen too. This is just the worst one and the worst security flaw. There were other security flaws that were just like, how in the fuck? If there was an actual violent freak that wanted to get in, then they would have.
Bro. Now that TwitchCon is over, I will give a couple thoughts and go more into them once I return. Keep in mind, it was my first TwitchCon. You guys need to start living in reality, says Taylor, by the way. It's simply false to say that security at TwitchCon was non-existent when it was so insanely strict that journalists couldn't even do their jobs and disabled people were forced to remove masks, etc. I'm making a longer video on this.
Yeah, but she was directly tied into Twitch. She was interviewing Dan Clancy, and she had a mask. So obviously, she was getting special treatment. So she has no fucking room to talk.
Are you talking about yourself, Taylor? Because you were the only person I saw with the mask on. Second thing is, when you say journalists couldn't do their jobs, you mean you. You mean they probably didn't allow your snaky, washed, disgraced journalist ass to actually harass the streamers. I mean, that's a big W, bro. I don't know why I'm seeing so many people say there was lax security TwitchCon. The security, both in uniform and plain clothes, well, private security, were everywhere, okay? What happened to Emiru is unacceptable, but the claim that security is non-existent is just absolutely untrue.
By the way, they're using California security and police. And we all know what they're about. They like to protect the violent freaks. So that's just kind of a fucking non-talking point. It's retarded.
There were police all over. Total surveillance. Total surveillance. Nobody could get through. Oh my god. Not like a guy just fucking waltzed up there, grabbed her, and attempted to kiss her, bro. Oh my god. And you couldn't roam anywhere. I think Brett put it well. Nuts responds, they literally sold knives at TwitchCon past the security checks. Holy shit, journalists don't deserve human rights. Okay, this is slander. You cannot call Taylor Lorenz a journalist. That's going a little too far. Okay, did she just compare Emiru getting essayed to her having to take her mask off in 2025? Yes, that is exactly what she did, because Taylor Lorenz is an absolute unimaginable loony freak. Oh my god. Is she stupid or friends with Dan? And they've posted that clip of people just waltzing in past the security. 41-year-old LARPing as a Zoomer. Taylor loves Hasan. Twitch loves Hasan. She has to defend Twitch. It's as simple as that. She's just an old leftist who wants a piece of Hasan Piker and to be in his inner circle. Taylor will find a way to be on the wrong side of every issue. It is truly impressive, honestly. Wow, the person interviewing Dan Clancy's running propaganda bullshit for Twitch. I am so surprised. Moving on to streamer Cinna responding to Taylor reacts to Taylor Lorenz's defense of security at TwitchCon.
I don't really like Cinna. I think she is a wannabe celebrity freak also, but she might be one of the most based out of all of the celebrity freaks.
I did see one journalist say, security was so strict, journalists couldn't even do their job. Girl, you know damn well, all right? Like, let's keep it a
No, she doesn't, because she was in the Twitch inner circle, so she doesn't know. She's just retarded.
You know damn well they weren't that strict, okay? They did try to do better this year. You know damn well. Don't even try. I saw that. I said, yes, and what the hell were you reporting on the TwitchCon floor? You know what I mean? What were we doing? I said, there's no way. That's the same girl who got sued for doxing people on Twitter?
Yeah, and she was also, you know, trying to find children on Roblox and interview them without getting the permission from the parents. Like, that's fucking degenerate behavior. That is actually pedo behavior.
Is that true? I don't want to be spreading false information. Is that true?
It's true.
Is she really? Uh-oh, pre-address on Twitter, GG. Taylor Lorenz is a complete moron. You can safely ignore her. Well, I don't really know her, to be honest with you. I just saw that tweet and I laughed and I said, oh my god, you poor journalist. You had to get your wristband scanned and couldn't get into a private area, so you probably couldn't do your journalism. Like that, I just don't think that journalists were that restricted. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, what are we talking about? Are we being so dead ass? It's like sometimes it just brings out the brain rot of people on Twitter, bro. I said, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Dude, more and more streamers are finding out, man. They are finding out.
I don't know. I don't know anything about her though. I have no idea if the other thing is true, so I just don't really.
Welcome, Cinna. Welcome. You are allowed to stand by us with open arms. We will take you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing in real time somebody encountering Taylor Lorenz journalism for the first time. Prayers in the chat for Sinner here. That is the classic response when you encounter a Hasan orbiter. But yeah, honestly, anybody with a shred of a brain cell can see that her journalism is the most biased bullshit reporting you will ever see. She lives her life by one motto and one motto only.
Ooh, you want to see her motto? Hold on, I got you. I got you. It's right here. It's right here. I bet she loves Gavin Newsom. She loves the California government. She wishes the California government would be the United States government.
Life by one motto and one motto only. Find a way to sleep with Hasan Diddley Piker, and she will basically do anything in the human realm of possibility to achieve this goal. She will sell her soul, she will lie about everything, she'll ruin her journalistic reputation and career, not that it was great in the first place.
Yeah, just like every other fucking leftoid who takes money from other leftoids.
And she will glaze us on 24/7. If this was an anime, she would be Misa Amane, who started mass unaliving people to simp for Light Yagami. Like, that's the level of simp she is. All for the 1 in a billion chance that one day, maybe, if the stars align, maybe if I cast a wish upon a falling comet or something, at age 65, when Hasan is inevitably alone, they will finally have nothing but each other. And Taylor will finally whisper, "It was worth it!" That was her whisper, by the way. Diabolical. That is literally her life story. If you think it's false, just wait another 20 years. Anyways, Ethan responds, accuses Taylor Lorenz of defending Twitch in a recent viral tweet. Have you ever bore witness to a more pathetic person in your entire life? I need to think about that. I really need to think about that. I can think of a couple, but Taylor's definitely on that top list. Anti-capitalist Taylor Lorenz cannot stop debasing herself to defend the dangerously negligent mega corporation Twitch/Amazon. Watch as this obedient lapdog LARPs as a revolutionary while serving the—
Dude, they all LARP as revolutionaries, bro. You say you want a revolution, well, you know, we all want to change the world. Dude, so fucking cooked. That song is based.
very powers she claims to be against. A true masterclass in hackery. Listen, the only power she cares about is Hasan's piker. Alright, it's not about socialism, leftism, or anything. It's Hasan, alright? She's obsessed with him. He's so hot. He would have an audience no matter what he said. Play the clip, play the clip.
The other thing with Hasan, he's unreasonably good looking and like cool and dresses cool.
Tell me about
But
it.
do you know what I mean? Like Hasan would be an influencer.
Dude, I've seen this clip so many times. Both of these people are disgusting. Like, I don't know, man. It's so weird. It is so weird. It's always the same type of people. Like, they're easy to spot.
No matter what he was saying, because he is
hot,
very attractive and very cool and genuinely a good person.
Look at my leftist dog. Leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone, except this is Taylor Lorenz. Anti-capitalist until capitalism slides into your mentions. Moving on to VTubers in Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse reveals that Twitch staff threw out all the gifts meant for VTubers from fans.
Which, fine, sure. If the way they went about it wasn't fucking retarded. Literally, the only reason they did it was so that they can show people that they did it. They went about it all wrong. Oh, there could be a bomb, or there could be an unsafe substance. Throw it in the trash can. Like, what the fuck?
You actually cannot be serious. Iron Mouse tweeted, I deeply apologize to all the VTubers and the fans who had meet and greets at the VTuber booth this year. It breaks my heart to know staff threw out all the gifts. Why would they do that? I should have known better than to trust them and taken care of everything ahead of time. I'm so sorry, everyone. Oh my god, bro. She's actually blaming herself for this. Dude, what is with Twitch and messing up every single thing? How hard is it to just keep the gifts or, you know, forward it to their managers, direct it to the actual creators or something? Like, what? I just don't understand. It's so cruel. It's so dumb. Like, it's so unnecessary. CDogVA responds, bro, what the actual frick? Out of all the reports about Twitch's mishandling of meet and greets, this makes me the angriest. Well, to be honest, the Emiru thing. Not only did they fail to guarantee Emmy's safety. Okay, that makes more sense. Twitch betrayed the trust of every VTuber fan whose favorite wasn't there at the event. So much goodwill thrown in the trash. They didn't throw it away, they stole it. Anyone who's worked at a convention knows this. Oh yeah.
Dude, same. Yeah, well, not a convention that I worked at, but like being a stagehand and working concerts and things, like anything that is being thrown out, anything that comes in that's not supposed to be there, that could possibly be a bomb or be an illicit substance that might harm somebody, the staff just steals it. Like, that's what happens.
I mean, like, some of these gifts could potentially be pretty expensive or valuable as well. So if there are people like sorting through it, they might actually put their hand in the bucket and take it away from the creator or whatever. This is a known thing that actually happens at a lot of places. Another VTuber responded, all right, somebody's gonna answer for this. It's not your fault at all. I can't imagine the lack of common sense it would take to look at boxes of stuffed animals, cards, merchandise, and think to myself, oh, must be garbage. Just what amount of cognitive dissonance is needed for this to happen?
Wasn't there a situation where they put a somebody put a tracker inside one of the gifts and they tracked the person down and murdered that streamer? Wasn't that a thing that happened? And I could see them like doing it because of that, but still, what I was hearing happen, it was they just like threw it in the trash. What the fuck? And that's not what happened either. They didn't just throw it in the trash. They threw the trash in the trash. Everything else got stolen. 1000%. That's what always happens. It never doesn't happen like that. Oh my god, this fly.
It's possibly that they thought that, hey, you know, this is too much to handle. Oh, they're not going to notice this anyways and throw it and just not expect it or whatever, right? Because you don't actually know how much sort of gifts you're actually getting. So if they only keep a percentage of it, you won't even know the full amount, right? It's like a middleman intercepting everything like an evil fucking demon. Girl, it's not your fault. It's clear as day that they don't know shit about VTubers or care about their safety, even when expressed months beforehand. But
They don't even understand VTubers. They don't know why they have such an appeal. They're like, you know?
by the way, I heard something else that one of the VTubers was also like forced to reveal their identity, and it wasn't even like necessary at all. In fact, it actually puts these VTubers in a lot of danger as well from like deranged fans and stuff.
Yeah, imagine if Nux was there. Like, well, for one, he wouldn't be there. But if they make him show his face, he has never shown his face. Like, nobody knows who he actually is, except for people who are very, very close to him. And that could immediately be a compromise, man. He could be compromised because of that.
Tweeted, multiple VTubers are reporting that Twitch and their incompetence lost all the fan gifts. Is there anything this company can not F up? Here we got Henya saying, unfortunately due to miscommunication, any gifts or presents given to my meet and greet were disposed of by the venue staff. I'm very sorry for anyone who gave me a gift. I thought it was like a percentage of them. All of them? That is so sad, man. We got Kuro saying, unfortunately, if you give me a Twitch, the event lost them all. I still really appreciate the intended gifts, though. Diabolical. I don't understand why creators even went to TwitchCon. I feel like this will only end when creators stop going.
This fly is getting real aggressive, and it's just one. I got rid of all the other flies in here. I was having a fly problem. And this one fly, I guess he's the king shit fly. Get the fuck out of here, man. I need to go get like a sensei or something so we can catch this shit.
Doesn't care. Events will never change, but they'll probably go again next year. No, if you go again after this, I'm sorry. The sympathy ends there. This is your sign. This is your sign. Stop going. Stop supporting these freaks. I don't care how, you know.
Yeah, and by the way, if they have less people show up at the next one and they don't make as much money, then it's just going to keep getting worse because they're not going to be able to pay anybody to keep up the TwitchCon.
Innocent you are, how like how much you believe in the goodwill of people. Maybe you're fucking Naruto here being like, Sasuke's gonna change, Sasuke's gonna change. Like, Twitch is not Sasuke, all right? Get a grip. Oh my god, somebody should have slapped that guy. Moving on to a blast from the past contender for worst streamer alongside Jack Doherty. Neon is back. Twitch security is so bad that they let Neon pretend to be Dashay Frost, a black creator, and steal his booth.
Sorry, what'd you say? Deshay.
Yeah.
Deshay Frost?
Yeah.
That's me.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We'll put you right in.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm just gonna walk you down to number 8.
Okay. Oh, is there already a crowd?
Wow.
I believe so.
What the fuck?
Okay, thank you. Hi, we can start whenever you're ready. Okay, let's go.
Dude, nobody checks.
Amazing.
They don't even know who he is. That's insane. Kind of a W for Neon, because people are talking about him because Twitch is incompetent. I mean, that was a shitty thing to do, but like, he was allowed to do it.
Twitch security right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I didn't know who Dashay actually is, and I thought, okay, maybe they somehow...
Wait, that wasn't Dashay? That wasn't Dashay Frost?
Look similar or something, right? And this is Dashay Frost.
Wow.
What the actual frick is going on? This is the most incompetent security I've ever seen, bro. No wonder all of this horrible shit is happening, and no wonder that Regard...
Also, I don't completely blame the security. I blame the people who are, like, at the top of the security. Because the people that are just working, like, the people at the bottom who are just working, who are just getting paid to be there. It's not really their fault. They're not the ones who have to provide the measures of doing the security. They're just there to be security. The people at the top should have been the ones, you know, telling people like, hey, make sure this is the actual person, especially if you don't know who it is. Vet the person, get their ID.
Was able to walk up to Emiru and basically assault her. It's obvious that they are just completely incompetent at every level, from their moderation to the staff handling the gifts to their security to the CEO, bottom to top. Twitch is a complete trash fire. They didn't even look at his badge or anything. I mean, we had that one clip where they're basically just walking past. I'm a friend of his. Okay, go ahead. Badges are cosmetic. Just say you were X person. I'm a friend of his. Okay, go ahead.
Well,
Badges are
skipped.
cosmetic. Just say you were X
That wasn't me, that was him. He cut it.
person manager, and they let you everywhere. This is literally like me at school when I needed to like go home early or like sneak into places and stuff. You just fucking make up shit. I literally don't see how it's possible for Dan Clancy to keep his position after all of this happened. Oh, don't worry, he'll find a way. Neon exposing all the security flaws at TwitchCon is insane. I mean,
Yeah, this one wasn't in the cards for me. Like, I didn't expect this to be a thing that happened.
it doesn't take a genius to do this. It was like the most dumb, easy shit to do. It just shows that how incompetent they actually are. That a dumbass IRL streamer can just punk you, you know? Moving on to streamer FanFan. She's talking about
I know, FanFan.
Twitch attempting to save their PR by giving female streamers compulsory security. FanFan expresses frustration with Twitch, pressuring her to use their security post Emiru incident.
Yes, Otto, the security guard had to go off campus with me too. Like, if I were to go back to the hotel, like yesterday, I went back to the hotel and then he was like, he has to stay in the lobby and wait for me. And then if I were to leave and Uber somewhere else, he also has to come with me. And so I told my Twitch partner manager, I was like, listen, I know you guys are trying to help, and I know you guys are, you know, I know the whole Emmy thing happened, but like, don't force this on me, you know? Like, I get you guys kind of have to, like, you're trying to cover your asses. No offense. Probably shouldn't be saying this with the fucking Twitch Rivals thing right on my screen, but you know what I mean? Like,
Fuck 'em.
Now you're just overdoing it, and I did not ask for this. Like, they asked me before I...
Dude, such incompetence, dude. Like, holy shit. Like, okay. Let people handle their own shit. Like, everybody knows you're incompetent. Let them handle their own shit. If you would have let Emiru have her own bodyguards, then everything would have been fine with Emmy. But, like, the fact that you, ramped up security, and then it wasn't enough, and then you ramped it up even more to the level where it was too much security for the streamers themselves instead of for the people that were attending. Like, bro, you fucked up. This is so bad. This is so bad.
Came if I needed an escort between my events, and if they needed someone to watch over me during my events, or like if I'm walking around the convention and stuff. And all along I was like, no, I don't want one. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not even for me, it's just for PR, and I'm like, I don't want one. Today they asked me again. They recommended I have personal security all day. I rejected. I said, please do not. I better not see anybody securing me. I better not get anybody protecting me, or I'm gonna get angry.
Right. Okay, so obviously you shouldn't be like forcing it on anyone who doesn't want it. You should give everyone the option of having security, and if they reject it and then something happens, that's obviously not going to be your fault, and they took the risk to do that. Right?
I somewhat disagree there, because they let the freak in the venue in the first place. But if it happens outside of the event, like, that's not on you, dude.
Nobody's going to be blaming Twitch for that, but I feel like this is very weird to complain about. Emiru just got SA'd at TwitchCon, and you're here complaining like, oh my god, I can't believe security is protecting me. This is so hard to deal with. Like, is it just me, or is she coming off really spoiled? Like,
No, she definitely is, but she also is kind of right. It's just like, it is for PR. They're not doing it because they wanted people to be secure. They just don't want people to talk about how it stayed not secure after the Emiru situation. They want to make it seem like they did ramp up security, but The fact that the security wasn't like that in the first place blows my fucking mind.
Oh, because of Emiru, now bodyguards are following me, guys. I mean, that's like the one decent move that Twitch is actually doing, and you're getting mad at it. I don't know. I guess
I disagree there. I think this was a really stupid move, and it was just to save face.
sure you should have the option to reject it, but like, what a weird thing to cry about. Are these guards like touching up on you or something? Like, why would you even be mad that people want to protect you? This is so insensitive to complain about given what happened to Emmy. It's like she's blaming her for causing this mild inconvenience for the sake of everyone's safety. Promise you 100% if what happened was to Pokey, she would not be crying about extra precautions or measures. I don't really understand. Of course, they're going to offer additional security. They're trying to fix what they effed up. If you act like this, it just validates what they originally probably thought was maybe we don't need it. This just seems weird. Twitch is trying to do PR when they could have just had a good security to begin with. Like, honestly, it's good.
That's the one. That's the one. That last one that he brought up. That's it.
To do some sort of thing after the fact as well. Let's be honest, TwitchCon is never going to be safe. Nobody's going to believe that it's actually going to be safe. So yes, this is probably just a PR move, if I'm going to be real. Moving on to legal mindset, talking about the legal liability for Twitch involving Emiru.
Yep, we talked about this already.
There are several causes of action that she could pursue. First, there's the general negligence theory. So that's essentially broad negligence for failure to detain the individual. They just let them walk out. They failed to coordinate with law enforcement. Really, they bungled that overall. But beyond that, there's a more specific negligent security claim. So essentially, the organizer failed to provide adequate measures to prevent the incident. So sufficiently trained personnel, barriers, etc. Things they could have done to protect Emiru and the streamer. Of course, they did not do that. And given the fact that in 2019, 2022, 2024, and earlier this year in Rotterdam in 2025, there were significant security issues, they should have known. This was not a first off. This is not a first-time event. This is not something they should know about. So there may have been safety provisions, and I don't know this. This is my speculation. There may have been some provisions in her contract. So if I was her agent, or if I were her himself, I would go to a lawyer and say, hey, look, is there anything in my contract here that was breached? Because it very well may have been something breached in that contract. The last one, though, and I think this one is the most poignant, is the post-incident handling leading to intentional infliction of emotional distress. I think a lot of things, such as them joking about this and, otherwise minimizing it.
The joking is absolutely fucking disgusting.
I think that is absolutely harmful for her, given her history with stalkers. She has a long history with stalkers. It's a known thing for her. And I think failure to do that, inflicting someone with that emotional distress and then taunting them, adding to that fire, definitely makes these viable. So I think that if she goes to a lawyer, these are all things they should look at and consider.
Right, so plenty of things to look into by the lawyers. Twitch is constantly having to sort of navigate a shit ton of lawsuits because they keep messing up like freaking idiots because Dan Clancy just can't seem to put down the gooning rack, right? Now,
I don't think Dan Clancy even has anything to do with Twitch. I think he just does the CEO PR every once in a while, and he basically just parties. And he lets the board take care of everything. And I don't even think they're actually taking care of anything. I think they've got a whole bunch of people that are making suggestions on how to do things, and that's what they do. And possibly using a lot of AI to run Twitch. Like I'm almost certain they're using AI to assist them so they don't have to do real work.
About Emiru, she hasn't been talking about this publicly, obviously. If you were planning on doing something, obviously you wouldn't be putting it out there online. Apparently your manager is like sort of looking into it, not too sure what will come of that. But if anything does come of it, we will be there to cover the updates, just like the Ethan Klein lawsuits. Moving on to Asmon, talking about why people are mad at Twitch. Asmon reveals his ideal TOS and explains why people seem to be so upset at Twitch's enforcement.
If I could live in, like, what would be my...
TOS? What's TOS? Terms of service? Never heard of it. Neither is Twitch, because they don't even follow their own TOS.
Ideal enforcement TOS. My ideal enforcement TOS would be that there are no rules at all. And unless you are breaking the law or advocating doxing or some other variation of that, or doxing people, right? Because doxing in some places is against the law, some places it's not.
That's exactly how I feel. And that's how the internet used to be. If you weren't breaking the law, then you're fine. Everything's all good, it's chill. And if you were breaking the law, then you would literally be banned from the internet. I knew people back in the day who were banned from the internet for breaking the law on the internet.
But if you want to have the rules, then I think that they should be applied evenly. So basically, like, I have a almost pretty much free speech policy. Like, I would let people say whatever they wanted to say. You want to say some stupid racist stuff, go ahead and say it. You want to say some stupid stuff about how, you think, some terrorist was a great guy, go ahead and say it. You do whatever you want to do. That's fine. And I think that the free market of the free minds can make that decision, right? Like, can you call Frogan fat? I think that, so, like, harassing other creators is like it's a different concept. But, like, again, the policy, I think, that has to be consistent. And I think that's the big problem that people have with Twitch's terms of service. I think that if Twitch's terms of service were applied evenly in every instance, then I don't think anybody would be complaining about it. But the issue is that they're not.
No, I think people would be complaining about it, but who cares about those people if they're actually breaking the law and that's what got them removed, if that's what we're going to base it on.
And that's the real problem that people have. What about gamer words? I don't care. Somebody wants to say the F word or the N word, I wouldn't care at all. If you don't like that, just don't watch it. Don't look at it. There's rap songs that use it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the reason people
Also
are mad
movies.
is the unequal enforcement, right? You can have some dumb rules or whatever, but the natural human response to someone getting preferential treatment is gonna be getting mad, right? And when it's so in your face and they constantly lie to you about it and it's happening, it just makes you feel so insane and get so mad about the whole situation. And their incompetence is now resulting in real people actually getting hurt in real life. So it's just obviously gonna drum up even more anger.
Yeah, and then they keep being incompetent even after all that. They have no idea what they're doing.
Pick and choose based on who Dan Clancy is gooning to at the current moment. He wants Hasan's micro, and let's get him away with terrorism for it. Tectone calls someone fat, he's suspended for weeks. Moving on to Tectone's response to the situation, he calls out Twitch's response.
30 days. A joke got the same ban as a fucking crime. I want to remind you, me calling Denims a whore and Frogan fat got me banned in total for 30 days. I want to remind you that Mike from PA literally put a bounty on Destiny's head.
Not just Mike from PA. A few other people also said the same thing, that they were gonna hurt him if he gets seen at TwitchCon in Florida. Was it in Florida?
And he did not get banned for 30 days. He didn't even get punished. I want to remind you that Sean de Black
Token Black
literally said he was going to murder Destiny, and he didn't even get banned. As well as Hasan calling for the death of many different people, and he also did not get banned. Are we starting to notice a problem now? We're going to go a little bit further. So Twitch put out a notice saying, well, guys, we permanently banned them. Not their decision, by the way. That was because it was caught on camera. The clip blew up. Emiru's manager.
By the way, permanently banned him. So they know him. They know who he is. That's the only way they could permanently ban him. Unless they're like, well, he's permanently banned when we find him. But they're not saying that.
God bless their soul, held them accountable and said, you are going to take these disciplinary actions and you are going to permanently ban this fucking loser. And so they have. They put in a note saying the person was apprehended and is currently being dealt with by the authorities. No, they weren't. Okay? No, they weren't. And the reason why we know they weren't is because we literally saw footage of this guy lackadaisically walking at a very relaxed pace out of TwitchCon with nobody restraining him, because just like the last security guard, well, if you do your job properly, you're going to lose your job promptly. Welcome to twitch.tv. It's great. I also love how many of your employees I talk to, Twitch, that even think that you yourself are retarded because you aren't allowing your own employees, your own...
I mean, there a lot of employees at Twitch are just there because it's a job.
Moderators to do their jobs. And even they are like, fuck. Okay, so Hasan Denims and all these fucking people are actively slandering all these people. But you called him fat, all right? So you're going to get banned for 2 weeks. And now what are we going to do for you? Ooh, We're just going to tell you to ignore them because for some reason the higher-ups at Twitch are protecting these fucking bozos. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So Twitch literally put out a public statement.
I think they're protecting these bozos because those are the bozos that the terrorist organizations want to prop up.
That is completely falsified. It is a complete lie. It was debunked in minutes. None of them put out an apology. None of them corrected the wrong they did. They looked you in the eye. They spit in your face and they said, hey, you're going to believe this story.
Hello, Twitch CEO Dan Clancy here. Did somebody say spit in my face? I usually love that.
Spit in my mouth.
Especially when it's 20-year-old girls. I actually took a break from my gooning session specifically for you, Baldy. I still don't like you after you called my queen, Froggen, atomically expansive giganormous Rex. That was quite rude of you. You know what? She is totally invited to the Diddy after party, although I might need to up the budget for snacks. I know, I'm going to double the ads on Twitch. What a great idea. Oh, gotta go. Extra Emily is...
Yeah, and it's going to get worse because more people are going to be leaving. More streamers are going to be switching over. What are they going to do about that? What are they going to do to make up these lost funds?
Live. Dan Clancy.
They're just going to ask the terrorist organization for more money, probably. We'll just let more things slip through the cracks for you so you can give us more money.
Out. Guys, I hired like 3 bodyguards. What the heck? It's like he manages to take over my videos every time. He's like fucking Danny Phantom possessing me. Help me, guys, help. Moving on to Hasan, taking his dog to a protest. Now, keep in mind, Hasan himself has said that he was shot at a protest by them firing into the crowd, and he kept talking about these fascist Nazis, the government trying to go after him, right? If I thought the Nazis were coming after me, would I bring my dog straight to them? Like, I don't know, very confusing logic.
Yeah, it's the same type of people who bring their baby to a protest when they know it's actually a riot.
All right, so we're out here at downtown Los Angeles. She's the Antifa commander-in-chief, as you guys know.
Is this the shock collar?
Yeah, this is the shock collar dog. I think she sees, she smells the hot dogs and wants to go there. My message is, in short, my message is the people united will never be defeated, and that we will fight fast.
By the way, he just called himself Antifa. By the way, Antifa is an actual terrorist organization with members and cells, and they take donations. You know, check out that JD Delay interview with the ex-Antifa terrorist guy. It will blow your fucking mind how right that I've been.
Fascism every step of the way.
A couple weeks ago, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He's a political commentator.
Yes.
You're also a political commentator. I see you're in a...
I was supposed to debate him.
Vest. You were supposed to debate him.
It's not a bulletproof vest. It's an airsoft vest. It's more so
vest.
just so I have a press badge so I don't get shot at by the cops.
Got it.
Right, so there he admits he has a vest on so he doesn't get shot at by the cops, right? Doesn't sustain damage there. So what about your dog, you absolute bumbling moron? He even acknowledges that it could be dangerous, and he still brings her out there. This guy is such a piece of shit, bro. And you know this man is carrying that freaking remote in his pocket, pressing the buzz button from his...
Yeah, also, like, he's bringing his dog so people can see that he brought his dog. That's the only reason he brought his dog.
Pocket, all right? The definitely...
Like, why would you bring your dog? There's absolutely no reason to bring your dog. It's just for show. And, holy shit. And you're like wanting something bad to happen.
Not a shock color remote. The definitely a dog gate button. The definitely a Zin tin, obviously. Also, calling your dog a terrorist is just crazy, alright? Leader of Antifa here. Bro's gonna get his dog killed and then blame it on the tyrannical far right. Oh my god, agents of Israel killed my dog, guys. Also, this guy saying, we will fight fascism. Brother, your dog is fighting fascism right now. Your fascist rule over its ability to move from its freaking place, alright? I guarantee you, this dog is ecstatic at the fact that it's getting to actually move for once in its goddamn life, alright? Breathe the air while you...
But do you see... Do you see a water bottle anywhere? Like, what... How is he going to take care of his dog when his dog is thirsty? I don't see him have any treats or any food on him either. Like, how long was he out there? Couldn't have been too long. Like, actually fucking cooked, man. I feel sorry for that dog so much. This right here, where he's letting the people pet his dog, that's for show. I've got a link down there in the comments. You should definitely click it. Donate to the Fables Folly farm. Yes, we got some Johnny Somali updates. Finally, I can talk about something else that's not Twitch or the gaming industry. So Johnny Somali just got humiliated in court today by judge, according to Atozi, who I think is there. It looks like he is there.
Johnny Somali trial, because little did we know that he would go on the offense. So he ended up actually suing or pressing charges against another Korean streamer today.
Holy shit.
We just got out of that court, and it was pretty interesting because a lot of things actually happened, and this was kind of a quote-unquote secret trial because it was never publicized anywhere, and the only reason we found out about it is because through the Korean streamers, they were actually called to testify. So thankfully, they actually shared the information.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this, and usually I get told about what's going on in the Johnny Somali world. I found out about this right now through Atozi.
Information with us. So we ended up showing up to court here in beautiful Seoul, Korea.
Yeah, let's go.
It was an interesting day.
Dude, I so badly want to go to Korea and Japan and like all these Asian countries, and they would welcome me because I'm actually an awesome person. Well, not according to me, according to a lot of people that I engage with.
So there was a few main things that happened. First, we got to court and we found out that we couldn't actually be inside of the instead of the assembly, inside of the courtroom. We couldn't be inside of the courtroom, and yeah, there was actually a lot of things happened. So we ended up getting the information after court, and now we know what happened. So what happened now was Johnny pressed charges against
That's
Youngman.
crazy.
Youngman is one of the people who pressed charges against him for the deepfakes. So currently, Johnny is facing 2 counts of deepfake charges.
What the fuck? What could he possibly be pressing charges against somebody else for? It feels like he's just trying to get payback. It's just like he's trying to slap him back.
One is from the Korean streamer by the name of Bongbong, and the other one is from the Korean streamer by the name of Youngman. So Johnny and his legal team decided to go on the offense against Youngman because Youngman is in quite the pickle, to put it lightly, right now. So Youngman is currently in jail. Is he in jail or is he in prison?
He's in jail. He's
in jail.
I'm sorry, he's in prison. He's been convicted.
Okay, so he is in prison. Okay, Youngman is currently in prison. And Johnny decided to press charges against him for 3 different things. The main things were a deepfake as well, because originally Johnny showed the deepfake of them 2 making out, and that's what Johnny is in trouble for in his current case.
Hank and Youngman making out.
It was Hank and Youngman making out. Okay, so Johnny showed Hank and Youngman making out on his stream, and therefore he got charged with distributing the deepfake. Unfortunately, Youngman, he saw that, and he was venting about it on his stream, and he also showed it on his stream. So then in return, Johnny pressed charges back
Oh man,
at Youngman.
that wasn't me. That's
that happened
Atozi.
today. So it was for the deepfake. Then it was also for assault with a baton, because that was actually that clip where they ran up on him and whacked him. That was, so one of the times Johnny was assaulted, that was Youngman who did it.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was for that, and then obviously the last charge then was for stalking. So he has a deepfake charge, an assault with a baton, and then stalking. That's what Johnny hit on this other Korean streamer. Now, so essentially, the reason they played that Uno reverse was they wanted to come to a settlement. So that Johnny
this video sucks.
so that Youngman wouldn't drop the charges at Johnny, because Johnny has 2 deepfake charges, which each could be 10 years in jail, 7 years each in jail, but they're capped out at 12.
They're capped at 7. It's capped at 7. So the reason it's high is to allow for multiple charges. Yes, it does add.
Yeah.
So say they convict him for.
So judging by this dude getting charged and convicted, it's really not looking good for Johnny, because he's got way worse charges.
3 years on one deepfake charge.
Yeah.
Then they can only add half of the original one. So say they sentence 3 years for the first one. they would have to then sentence a year and a half for the second one. So that's
Okay.
4.5 years total. So that's how they come about the calculation. But say there are many crimes and it adds all the way up to 7, it's capped at 7.
Okay. So today in court, we had 3 people who ended up testifying. So first, Johnny ended up testifying, and he lied a lot, apparently.
A lot.
Oh, damn.
So what did the translators say that he lied about, or what was the main things?
I think the primary one was saying, I don't know or I don't remember, the things he clearly would have remembered. For example, who brought the baton? Who brought the baton to the fight? You know.
Okay.
Everybody knows that Hank brought the baton. It's obvious. He talks about the baton, he shows the baton on stream, the baton is in his apartment. Johnny knows that baton very well. And they asked him,
I didn't know about all this. What the fuck? How did I miss it?
who brought the baton? And he said, I don't know.
And Youngman ended up disarming and using the baton?
That's
Is that
right.
what happened?
Hank brought the baton, and Youngman felt, I guess, threatened by the baton, so he took it, and Johnny claims he hit him.
Interesting. Okay. Obviously, this is all alleged. None of this is confirmed at all. Okay. So for Youngman, who's currently in prison, these are some serious charges to be added to his sentence. The reason Youngman is in prison is you had the whole riots here in Korea a few months ago, and essentially it was like, what is it called when they declared it was martial law was declared?
Oh.
And
Okay.
then some rioting happened, and Youngman was one of the streamers who decided to live stream himself, go into court, and throwing bricks and cinder blocks through multiple windows at the courthouse.
Hey, I remember that.
Obviously, not a great idea to do. But he, before that happened, was also involved in, being one of the Korean streamers who were trying to keep track and keep tabs of where Johnny was throughout the city, because they were essentially fed up with him harassing the Koreans for content.
Yeah, Koreans way different than the Korean government. That's like 2 different entities. Like, yeah. But also, don't do that.
So now that's came back to bite him.
Don't be violent against the government. That's like one of the dumbest things that you could do. Obviously, you're going to get in trouble for that. Well, apparently not in America, but that's the way it's supposed to be.
So that's why he's in jail. That's why he's in prison, and that's why Johnny could then use this as a legal strategy to try to get him to settle. So first Johnny testified, then Hank testified, and we confirmed with the attorney in there that from what we can tell, they were lying. There was a lot of information that was just not accurate from them. And then after Hank finished testifying, it was Bang.tv.
Bang TV.
Bang TV. What were the main things? So there was a few key highlights that what Johnny said and what Hank said.
Johnny said. Another one of the main lies was about the deep fakes. The timeline of when they showed on stream these deep fakes. Johnny insists since March 27th. March 27th, he met with his lawyer, who asked who showed the deep fake first. He insists for some reason that Bongbong showed it before him and that Youngman showed it before him, which is not true. They both found out about this deep fake from Johnny's stream. Everybody knows the timeline, but he keeps on insisting that. He also keeps on insisting he didn't produce them, like production versus distribution.
Yeah, he's just like all of the other typical liars all around in the streamer space, where you're just like, you say the thing so many times that people start to believe it, but Johnny Somali is not believed by anybody, even other liars and other degenerates. So, like, I don't know what the hell he's trying to accomplish here, unless he's just that brain cooked that he's just making shit up on the fly, and he actually doesn't know what's going on ever in any kind of reality. Which is that's probably what's going on.
That's not what he's accused of, right? He's not accused of producing, he's accused of distributing, but he brought that up again today. I didn't make it, as if anybody cares.
And was it the judge that said, hey, your story doesn't match up? It doesn't make sense?
The timeline, he said the timeline does not make sense with the facts. Because we know when these streams happened. But yeah, Johnny's like...
Johnny Somali does not look at the facts. He's going off the top of the dome. I already know, because I've watched him for years. Or I haven't watched him. I've watched him vicariously through videos talking about him for years. And that's exactly what he does. And that's what he's still doing. He doesn't act, he thinks he knows the facts. He thinks he's super, super smart. So he's just got him up in his head, up in the dome, and he's rattling them off without a care in the world.
I think he believes his own lie at this point.
Interesting. Okay, so after...
And it doesn't help that he actually has fans. That blows my mind that he's got fans, but he's actually got fans. And they're probably gassing him up. They're gaslighting him. And they probably believe their own bullshit too. It's an echo chamber of morons telling bullshit to each other.
Okay, so after Johnny testified, then Hank was next up, and then after that it was Bang.TV, or Bang TV. And at the end there, we were able to go in for Bang TV and so on. But essentially what happened with today's trial?
The bottom line was that at the end of Hank's testimony and before Bang TV came in, Hank spoke of his desire to reach a settlement. And he said at first that he wanted money. Hank, as the victim of the deepfakes, supposedly, and as the maybe co-victim of assault and stalking, which he claims, as if Youngman cared about him, he said he wanted like a monetary compensation. Johnny,
of course, because they're out of money. They've wasted all the money on this whole situation.
This situation, all he wants is the deepfake charge from Youngman to be dropped, and they said they'll do anything to. What were his words?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hank's testimony is here.
He said, "I'm willing to put this behind us if both sides will drop the charges." Like, they have three. So Youngman is in a much worse situation, actually. I mean, Johnny's in the situation that he's in, but Youngman is in a situation where he's already convicted, he's already in prison, and he will be a repeat offender if he's convicted of these three charges that are very serious. Now, on the one hand, I would say that, so his wording was, "I want to put this behind us," which is something you hear him say a lot. "I want to put this behind me." He always says this when he says, "I want to put this behind me." Right?
And I also feel like we should note that Youngman sent in 5 letters of apology letters towards the judge because of the deepfake situation. Johnny has not publicly apologized for this yet.
He has.
Yep, and he keeps making things worse, and he keeps lying, and that dude. I think probably the judge has just about had enough of Johnny Somali. He wants this to be over just as much as everybody else does.
Not even sent one letter. But Youngman showed true reflection. Reflection is that's what they're looking for, not just an apology. This isn't a situation with two kids get in a fight and you tell them to apologize and they make a fake apology. They want to hear words of true reflection. And Youngman has done that. He's convinced the court that he's sorry. So the decision in the end was they wrote an ad hoc, just on the spot, they wrote like improvised. I would call it an improvised agreement.
Yeah.
That's temporary until they formalize the agreement. So that agreement has been reached, and there's almost nothing stopping the court from dropping at least one deepfake charge right now.
Okay. So yeah, there's a few things here. So wait, and then also when talking to the attorney, he also said that he believes that Johnny committed perjury multiple times. And is there a chance that he can be charged for today's court case or for perjury in today's court?
I believe he committed the crime of perjury multiple times with a very specific goal, which is to reach this settlement. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
That's his goal from this. He doesn't want to actually see Youngman convicted. He wants to reach that settlement. So that was perjury. I think it's unlikely.
Okay.
Forward because the conclusion was a settlement, and the court loves when two parties settle.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, today was essentially.
Somebody said this Shisa is pre-recorded. No, it's not.
No, this is
live.
This is 100% live. But essentially, oh yeah, and then also I saw a lot of comments were saying, wait, his court hearing is on the 29th. This is a separate trial, so. This is because he went out and sued Youngman. So
this is the trial of Youngman as defendant and Johnny and Hank.
Yeah, this is just, an OVA episode. Yeah, this is a filler arc.
Are victims in this case.
So, very, very interesting. Anyway, so today was actually a big victory for Johnny because one of the deepfake charges have been dropped. Now, the next thing is, will the other deepfake charge get dropped? That's currently with Bong Bong. But Bong Bong has not been formally charged with anything as of now, at least.
As far as we know.
So Johnny doesn't actually have that leverage with her.
I think he said something very interesting. They asked him if he sued anybody else, or not, I shouldn't say sued, filed charges against anybody else, criminal charges against anybody else besides Yongman. And he said 1 or 2. I think the wording was very interesting. He said 1 or 2. And then he mentioned Yu Dalgun, the assault case. He mentioned that one, but what did he not mention?
Bong Bong.
And why did he say, I'm reading between the lines here.
Of like 1 or 2, so he's trying to press charges against
Yes.
Bong Bong, most
So,
likely.
If it was going ahead against Bong Bong, I think the wording would have been 2. Yu Dalgun.
I hope that I'm not right about all of this. I really hope that I'm not right that Johnny Somali is going to get out of this scot-free and he's going to continue to be able to crash out. But, you know, that'll be content, I guess, for us to go over. But eventually, even if he doesn't go down for this one, he's going to go down for the next one. Because I think it's going to get even worse. I think it's going to get so much worse. Or, God forbid, somebody does something very bad to him because they're tired of him getting out of everything, weaseling out of everything. We'll see, man. I guess we'll be here to talk about it. So let's move on. Let's talk about some gaming news. From Linus Tech Tips, actually. Holy shit, I haven't reacted to Linus Tech Tips in a long time.
Microsoft is in the news for hiking the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate
old news.
again, and this time by 50%, leading to an historic surge of angry gamers smashing the unsubscribe button. And it has everyone from Microsoft's partners to the press to even individual gamers asking themselves, what the hell is going on at Xbox? I mean, one day, Microsoft is celebrating, hey, Game Pass is totally making tons of money, whoa! And then the next day they're like, actually, we're gonna need more money from you? Thanks. On one hand.
Oh, it's actually just so we can make it even better. Don't you want it to be better? It's already awesome.
They're promising new Xboxes are coming for really actually real this time. And then on the other hand, they're like,
we didn't even get a slim version this time. Usually we get like 1 or 2, sometimes 3 slim versions. We haven't gotten shit from any of the consoles except price hikes.
look at me, your phone is the Xbox now. The same day that Phil Spencer sent out a memo that said, our game roadmap has never looked stronger, they notified Xbox employees of a
their game roadmap. You mean like Fable, Outer Worlds 2? Dude, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good.
10% staff reduction across several studios alongside the cancellation of multiple games. Which is it, Microsoft? Snip, snap, snip, snap, snips?
Well, I guess that is cost-saving measures because they aren't wasting even more money on these garbage games that they canceled. And I think Fable's going to get canceled also. They're kind of radio silent on it. And I'm pretty sure it got delayed again.
Yep, I mean, it shouldn't surprise us that much. If we go back to 2013, there was that time Microsoft forgot they were making a game console.
Xbox, go home.
But more recently, these WTF moments seem to be happening more and more frequently to the point where it's raising the question, is Xbox even going to exist within another generation or two? Which is a huge problem because even though I've never...
Yeah, they're straight up about to Sega themselves. Like 1,000%. But the problem with Sega, though, with the Dreamcast, it was kind of way too advanced for people to be into it, and it was pretty expensive, and it didn't have very many games on it. There was a lot of great games for the Dreamcast, but not very many that people were willing to pay for.
Actually owned one personally.
And also the marketing was trash.
I 100% appreciate the value of having Xbox as a player in the space. There's so few console makers now, and seeing one of the major makers bow out now would be a big problem for competition.
I have owned a lot of Xboxes, and I'm also really terrified of a gaming future where Sony and Nintendo are gonna have free reign to do whatever they like. Free reign, like do our segues to our sponsors.
Hetzner. Get a powerful and
I don't want to hear about no sponsor.
PC Game Pass have been a great value for a lot of gamers. They've allowed people to try out experiences they might have otherwise overlooked, gotten eyes on games that might have struggled to find an audience, and, according to some devs, even provided a stabilizing, de-risking presence for some smaller indie releases. It's been so good, in fact, that the service has frankly overshadowed their hardware for quite a while now, which is a shame because Xbox's hardware has also been traditionally pretty darn solid. We're PC people, which means we're often deriding consoles for their aging mid-tier hardware, but when you bear down on what you get for your dollar, it's kind of hard to argue with the original MSRPs of the series lineup. Just ignore the 2 price hikes just for a minute. We'll get to those later. Point is,
and also the fact they shouldn't have released 2 consoles, by the way. That was an L move. And like, where's the slim versions? That's usually when I get into the consoles, is when they release the slim versions. There's no slim version, so I haven't been able to get into it. I got the Xbox One S whenever it came out, and that was the first Xbox One that I got, and it was great.
Long time. The combination of an Xbox Series S, or even the X for that matter, plus Game Pass was a pretty killer entry point into high fidelity gaming. And this next one definitely benefits us less, but you gotta give credit, I guess, to Xbox's business side for successfully accumulating new studios and publishers like a gem-hungry Thanos. It has drastically increased their overall gaming revenue, and to Microsoft's credit, for better or for worse, they haven't greedily gatekept those franchise stones from the competition, which kind of plays into what looks to us like what might be a big switch away from hardware and toward providing services.
Now, Xbox has stated many times that they do have more Xbox hardware on the way, but honestly, each press release feels...
Yeah, do they? Do they? And how much is it going to cost? And like, how much are they going to downsize because of it? I think all of the outsourcing is really showing us how much they're downsizing in the next generation, because they know that it's going to cost too much and it's just going to be for like Xbox fanboys and enthusiasts.
Less and less like an exciting promise,
and reviewers,
and more like damage control over some bad headlines. Through both the naming of the current 2-tier generation and the fact that seemingly everything with a screen could technically be an Xbox, Microsoft is telling us that a singular Xbox is not at the center of their game plan. And that means that resources which used to be spent on making...
I can see them releasing like PC like consoles and basically licensing out the Xbox service, and you have a whole bunch of different Xboxes. That's probably where we're going, especially with the like ROG Ally being an Xbox and having the Xbox service on it. It kind of hints toward that's what's going to happen, which I'm not actually mad at, because we might get like a $150 low-powered Xbox, and I'm cool with that, man. And we might get like a $2,000 Xbox that's better than my PC.
The ultimate Xbox experience in one place, like engineering and design time, are trickling out to make their streaming app pretty okay on your LG TV or your Samsung phone. You can kind of see this change with the first-party Xbox handheld being canned, in part due to Microsoft not being...
And I can imagine a future where you're at a friend's house, your friend's got the $1,000 Xbox, and your other friend has the $1,000 ROG Ally. I don't see that actually happening, but just work with me for a minute. Stick with me for a minute. And then you got another friend that's on his phone. You got another friend that's like on the TV, because the TV is an Xbox 2 now. And you're all playing Halo 3 together. Like, that's going right back to the LAN party days. And I think that's cool. I think the possibility of that being a thing is really cool. But also, that doesn't sell consoles. So, I don't know. Doesn't sell games if you're just buying a Game Pass subscription, especially if it's like fucking $40. Nobody's going to want that shit.
So confident they could sell 10 million of them, which, to be fair, not even the Steam Deck has sold that many units. Instead, we're seeing Big Green offload their work and the risk to simply facilitate the release of an Asus handheld with an Xbox button. And although this might seem just like a neat little side quest that should have little bearing on the future of Master Chief's chefs, it does raise major questions about a shift in paradigm at the old Redmond offices.
Microsoft once fought hard to make their own hardware. Take the Surface, for example, Microsoft's tablet and laptop lineup. They could have easily maintained the status quo, just...
Oh, I remember when they tried this originally with the Windows 8, when they tried to make the Windows 8 basically look like the Xbox dashboard. And it was basically, that was like the first iteration of them trying to make something an Xbox that wasn't an Xbox.
Building their software as bestest as they can and letting the various OEMs build their systems around it. But instead, they invested many millions of dollars to design.
I don't even know why they think it's a good idea to make everything an Xbox. They tried to make everything Windows back in the day and it completely fucking failed.
And build devices from the ground up with custom parts and, this is important, full control of the compromises that make a surface a surface. And that point is really important because pretty much every piece of consumer tech has some kind of compromise at its core. Now, usually, these compromises are to keep the cost of manufacturing down so that the price doesn't go too high. Things like skipping out on an OLED screen or making the disk drive a separate thing. But sometimes these compromises could be to the margin of the manufacturer. Say, for example, because they intend to make it back when they sell you software down the road. That's the big deal breaker with the new Asus Xbox handhelds. Microsoft isn't subsidizing the cost, and Asus has to make money on every unit sold because they don't get a 30% cut of whatever you buy in the Xbox store. So the one you actually want is $1,000 US. I mean, that's not that unreasonable given the hardware that's in it and what the costs of it.
Yeah, true. But nobody's gonna pay $1,000 for a handheld game console, especially when they can just get a Steam Deck. And like what are we doing here? This kind of just seems like an L, even though it's technically really cool.
They are, but I mean, that is galaxies away from mainstream pricing. And it's another signal on top of the increased cost of services and the increased cost of Microsoft's own hardware.
Like, for me to viably buy one of those Xbox handhelds, I would have to save up literally an entire year. And I'm just not fucking doing that. I'd rather just buy a part for my PC whenever it becomes a little bit out of date for like $100, $200, or if I have to get a new GPU, I'll put it on layaway, and it's not going to be $1,000 for a GPU. I've already got a PC that can be upgraded.
Xbox just is not focused on bringing the best value in gaming, at least not the way they used to be. But then if Microsoft is just getting OEMs to make their hardware for them now, is Xbox just a logo and Windows?
Hey, what's so bad about Windows being at the center of the future of Xbox? I mean, Windows has phenomenal cosmic compatibility and itty-bitty little issues that really do add up. Windows has primarily been a mouse and keyboard product, and using a joypad or touchscreen to navigate currently sucks. The years of patchwork development.
I think it's really cool that whenever I hook up a PlayStation controller, that I can use the touch function and move around my cursor. But it sucks. It's really cool that I could do it, but I'm never going to use it. It's really cool that I can be like, look at what this controller could do and move the cursor around on screen. But I'm never actually going to viably use that thing.
Multiple releases, and the need for their OS to do everything, not just games, means that there's a ton of inefficiencies and extra processes in the background versus something like SteamOS.
Yeah, and dude, Linux just works better nowadays. It didn't used to be that way. Now we got certain things that just don't hook up straight to the like some of the Stream Deck competitors. They don't really work that well. Capture cards don't really work that well. But the operating system itself works very well, and it works better than Windows at this point. And now there are apps out there that you can use to play literally any Windows software. Like, it's basically just Linux and Windows at this point if you're on Linux. It's so good, and it's easier than ever to install stuff and use it.
Microsoft is working on these issues. Their new Windows handheld mode might actually release before this video does. But what they will never fix is a miscreant's ability to win every match in every lobby by nefarious means. You can't lock Windows down enough to prevent cheating. And they can't really prevent other storefronts from appearing on it, which from a gamer standpoint is pretty freaking great. We love competition.
I think we're going to start getting verified lobbies and stuff, to where if you're verified, then you can go into lobbies, and you'll have unverified lobbies where anything can happen, where they'll kind of try and keep cheaters out, but there won't be a point to keep cheaters out of the verified lobbies. And I think that's where we're headed, where you're going to verify your account with an ID, or like your other, like verify with social media that uses ID. I think that's the better way to go, especially if you're somebody like me who already has to have his ID attached to his social media, because that's how I make money.
But from Microsoft's perspective, this sucks. Unlike a lockdown console ecosystem, Xbox's services on Windows are just one of several options. They have to keep the value of PC Game Pass much more competitive than on Xbox. There is also an Xbox game storefront on PC, but do you know anyone who buys games from there? I don't think so. And while I've heard the fan theories that
I might be able to maybe want to, if it was available viably on Linux, if they would just have I don't want to have to install a bunch of shit to try and get it to work. It will work. You can get it to work, and it's pretty easy to do it. But I'm just not going to do that, because why? Why would I? Just release a native app and everything will be fine. I don't want to have to update it myself and shit like that.
Xbox is desperate to get Game Pass on competing console platforms.
Just not Linux.
I just don't see that happening. For one, their primary competitors are not interested in having Game Pass in their ecosystem. Nintendo, Sony, and Valve all make their money selling games, and having a competing service that does measurably reduce the amount of games sold is not good business.
And also, Game Pass just kind of sucks, because the reason I was out on it, because there was a game I was in the middle of playing. There was a few games I was in the middle of playing, and they just removed it. I was playing GTA. I was playing GTA 5 on Game Pass, and then they just randomly removed it and basically put it on there as an ad to get me to buy GTA 5. And I was not about to buy GTA 5, especially if I was spending the money that I was going to use to buy GTA 5 on Game Pass. Like, no, thank you. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to get either one of them. I'm just going to buy a bunch of games on sale on Steam that I'll have forever. Fuck Game Pass. And this was way back in the day. This was like, I don't know, 2018 or something. I don't remember when it was.
2. Even if they do let Microsoft weasel its way in, they are simply not going to do so without taking their cut. Probably something like 30%. And at that point, I don't think Game Pass can take that big of a hit and remain profitable. And 3, this might be the biggest one, Microsoft has signaled that having their biggest hitters as day one offerings on Game Pass loses them a lot of potential money, like the $300 million they left on the table with the latest Call of Duty. Right now, Microsoft gets to eat their cake with 37 million Game Pass subs, and have it too by still selling millions of copies to PlayStation owners. Black Ops 6 was the highest grossing title in franchise history, and this isn't just a COD thing.
Also, like, if their console is worse than the other consoles, and it doesn't even have to be the hardware inside of it. Literally, if PlayStation has a better user interface, people will just buy Xbox games on the PlayStation, and that actually loses Xbox a lot of money.
Microsoft has been the top publisher on PlayStation for several months. And so,
yep, that's not
even
good.
Though it feels like
it seems like it's good, but yeah, exactly, shooting themselves in the foot.
Microsoft keeps shooting themselves in the foot at every possible occasion. And even though customers are seemingly turning on Xbox in every market, and even though their piece of the hardware pie keeps shrinking, their gaming division is making more revenue than ever in the history of all of Xbox. Just because I don't like what they're doing doesn't mean it isn't working for them.
And while
Actually, it's not working for them. The reason why I don't know if they've been paying attention as closely as I have, but the reason why they're making so much more revenue on games is because they're nickel and diming people more than ever. And also, they raised the price of games twice. So, and they rarely drop games that are full price down into not being full price, unless it's the physical editions at Walmart. But now they're not even selling those. So, you know, eventually the ceiling is going to shatter and they're going to come crashing out the other side. They're going to go through the ceiling and they're just going to land in the yard. and they're just gonna be out there in the weather, and they're just gonna rot, which is, they're already kind of rotting. But I think what's probably gonna happen, this is my prediction, is they're going to double the amount of money. Like, this is crazy. This is super crazy, but I've been following it. I think they are going to double their revenue. They're going to double their revenue, by the way. Revenue, not profit. Revenue. They're probably going to spend more and more than ever. And where do you go from there? Where do you go after you've hit a certain point? You can't make all the money in the world. Usually the companies that grow that fast end up collapsing. And Xbox, by the way, has not been around for a very long time. It has only been around for 24 years, something like that.
I really disagree with some of their moves. I think the discussion is less about Microsoft's failing strategy and more about them acknowledging the situation. That games exclusivity driving console sales as a primary revenue stream is a thing of generations past. At least for them. But with that said, even Sony is smelling the roses these days. The PS5 has arguably Sony's weakest lineup ever of exclusives, and yet it's their most profitable generation ever, which just goes to show people are still buying the consoles, even without.
What are you doing? What are you doing with this? You want to tell us why they're making this much money? Like, oh, well, they're just saying they're making this much money, but they're not saying why, all of the reasons they're doing this. For one, they're spending more money than ever. And this is profit, by the way, not revenue. Revenue, completely different. This is the money that they're taking and they're actually making money. But the revenue is way higher. And also, the amount of money that they've been spending is way higher. Not saying that they're failing or anything. What I've been saying this entire time is something's got to give. And something will give, because something always gives. This is the way it went with Atari. They were selling more and more and more and more and more until they got too big for their britches, and all of a sudden nobody bought anything and it all crashed overnight. That's how it happens, by the way. .com bubble, that happened within like a fucking week. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Very, very quickly.
The killer apps. But thanks to capitalism, no competition means that the monopoly charges whatever the heck they want. So please, Valve, please have the new Steam machines be good. Make them a real competitor for a 4K gaming system. Help me, Gabe Kenewell. You're our only hope. Just like this segue is a new hope for our sponsor.
Yep, I think Xbox is completely cooked, but the brand Xbox probably going to keep going on for a very long time. But the way that we see Xbox now is not going to be how it is even in the next generation. It's going to get real weird. I think we're going to see PCs running Xbox software. I think we're going to get less of the hardware. And it's just going to be a different company. It's going to be completely different. Just like now it's completely different from the original Xbox. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's unpredictable, but it's still kind of predictable. You can see where things have gone in the gaming industry before. You can see where they are now, and you can see that this is very, very similar to the 70s and 80s, man. Very, very similar. And all it's going to take is one company that makes a console that is more affordable than all of them for like $150, $200. And that's where I think Xbox might be going, actually. Like I said earlier in the video. I think it's probably going to happen. And if it doesn't, especially with the way the world economy is going, it's getting much worse. They can't sell $1,000 consoles. It's just not going to work. And here's an example of a game that got way too big for its britches. Even though it technically made money, even though technically the revenue was good, exactly how I predicted, it is going down, and it went down. Ubisoft ended up selling off a big portion of their company to China and have them operate through Tencent, and they moved all of their biggest IPs over to a different studio, literally just like I said they were going to do, and they were going to start firing prominent figures that were at Ubisoft. The only thing that I didn't predict was I thought they were going to lie about it, but apparently, like, they're straight up just like, here we are. This is what's going on.
The former Assassin's Creed franchise director, Mark Alexis Cote, you know, I don't know what the fuck, how do you say something like that? Revealed that his departure was not his choice. He said, "I did not walk away. I stayed at my post until Ubisoft asked me to step aside."
Yeah, I didn't think this was how this was going to go down. I thought that they were going to stay silent and they were going to push that, like, oh, he resigned, because that's usually how corporations go. But I think it's getting real bad over there at Ubisoft, man.
And so you've got this guy making a post out on LinkedIn. Here it is. We're going to read it. And past 24 hours have been deeply emotional. Reading all your public and private messages, archiving all of them. Ubisoft decided to transfer leadership of the Assassin's Creed franchise to someone closer to its new organizational structure.
We said that there was going to be a reorganization. They were going to restructure everything. Here we are, right about everything once again. And it's not even really that we're right about everything. It's a pattern. It's pattern recognition. We can see where this goes.
So let me go ahead and do a little bit of translation for that. They sent this motherfucker to China. They sent this bitch to the Chinese. Thank God. I used to pray for times like this.
And it's going to get worse. We said it was going to happen, and we also keep saying it's going to get worse. It keeps getting worse. I think more and more games are going to be coming out of China because China sees a market that is being destroyed, and they're like, hey, you know how we can easily be the top dogs of this market? By making games that are good, that people want, and not antagonizing the fans and cutting the fans off and saying, well, you weren't real fans to begin with. Oh, we're trying to get new fans. We're trying to garner a new audience, the modern audience, because all of y'all are behind the times. You know who is the main demographic for gaming? It's 40-year-old men with jobs. Just normal, straight, white males most of the time. Black males too. But like black dudes, they love their games.
Holy shit. Finally,
and black people, they love their anime. So anime games, of course. And white people like anime too, but I think black dudes like anime more than white dudes.
Might be good again. Thank God. Tencent? Yeah. Well, Ubisoft had such a they've had such a they've been floundering for so long. They had to make a new shell company to move all of their IPs to in order to get Tencent to buy a huge percentage of that so they can make new games. So basically, it's like Ubisoft. You ever seen like a bug, how it gets out of its exoskeleton and gets in a new one? You ever seen like one of those cicada things? It's just like sitting on like a wall or something like that.
Or it's like a crab getting a new shell.
It's like, damn, that used to be a bug, but it got out of the shell. That is Ubisoft. Ubisoft isn't the bug, it's the shell. Ubisoft went, and now that bug is in China. That bug is in China. And so what happened is that Ubisoft,
they just went to China.
Had basically such a massive flop that
Ubisoft goes to China, EA goes to Saudi Arabia. What's next? Is Activision gonna go to like Israel or something? I could see it.
This is like a
mark my words. Activision's going to Israel.
It was like a flounder stampede. It was bad. Like they had Assassin's Creed Outlaw. Or sorry, no, I got them confused. That somehow I can't even imagine what game that would be. Star Wars Outlaw, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Before that, you had Prince of Persia: Sands of Time that was overpriced. Nobody bought the game. You had to shut down the studio. And I think before that, you had one more flop that I can't even think of. So you had all of these Skull and Bones. That's the other one. I forgot. That's the big.
That was the biggest one, man. I think they spent like $400 million on that game, and it just absolutely failed.
One. So 3 strikes, you're out. Ubisoft had 4. Uh-oh. That's a foul. And so guess what? Now they've got...
That's a technical foul.
Got a new game. They've got a new company, and they're making new games with the Chinese. because the Chinese are buying them out. Now the Chinese have partial ownership of the IPs, and that's it. But I also owe it to my teams, past and present, to say this plainly. I did not walk away. I stayed at my post until Ubisoft asked me to step aside. You want to know why they asked you to step aside? Is because you couldn't do your fucking job.
Yep.
You were shitty at your job.
Yep. And obsessed with identity politics.
You made trash.
You basically had an agenda, and then you built your games around that. That's what was going on here. And that's what's been happening in the entire gaming industry.
The games that you made sucked. They were bad. You got fired because you were bad at your job.
By the way, Xbox apparently has been doing really bad and at the same time really good. If you watch my last video about Xbox, you would see that. But like, man, Xbox also has to make a change because they've had L after L after L after L, and they keep making more and more and more money, and they keep spending more and more and more money, and they keep spending this money and canceling the things that they were doing with that money, so they're not even making the money on those things, and they're still simultaneously making the most money that they've ever made. And this is like, dude, all of these other companies were doing the same thing. And this company, Xbox, they've got consoles. They've got actual systems going. They better make a change because Fable ain't looking good. I'm pretty sure they silently canceled that game. Outer Worlds 2, but anyway, that's not talking about Xbox. It's just giving an example of another company that's doing this, that's bigger, that's going to flop even harder if they don't make a change. And they're definitely making changes and restructuring. It might be too little too late. They're definitely going to have more layoffs starting in 2026, probably thousands of people.
Called natural selection. And today you got picked. You want to cry about it? You're going to bitch about it? Well, all I'm going to do is sit here and laugh and say, thank fucking God, one more obnoxious, self-righteous, annoying Western game developer is sent back to where you really belong. McDonald's.
Put
Welcome
fries in a
home. I will
bag.
not stop until every single one of these people are at McDonald's. We're going to send every single one of them back.
Yep. And the Shame Awards. Let's go.
It's going to be beautiful. And everybody, even the people that hate me, will look back and they will say, thank you that you did this. We tried to go against you. We thought that you were wrong. But we have now seen the light.
Yeah, dude, we're gaining power. We are becoming more powerful, especially Asmongold, man. He is so powerful right now. Eventually, they're going to be like, well, we couldn't beat him. We couldn't beat him. We better join him.
And while we might not agree with all of your viewpoints, the games are better, and we are happy. And at that point, I will say thank you. And I'll wait for it to happen again. And then I'll do it then. This is the Shame Award. That's right. I will then my work will be over. But until then, the work continues.
Yep.
They do.
Yep,
And
we're still going to be farming these fucking assholes.
And it will. You remember birthdays at McDonald's? No, we never had those. We usually went to Chuck E. Cheese for that. You should.
Yeah, I went to Pizza Hut, and they shut down.
Stick to gaming content. This is gaming content. This is gaming content. This is, you see this, they made a video game. Actually, that's not true. It was a political messaging device. And that's the problem. I'm
disguised as a video game.
trying to stick to gaming content. They didn't want to stick to gaming content. They wanted to start politics. They wanted to put politics in the game. Well, now you're not even in the company. They encroached upon our sacred space. Yeah, I never wanted to do any of this. I never wanted to be involved in any of this. Like, I honestly, like, I could have sat in my room and played video games my whole life, and I would have never been involved. But then they had to go and add a girl into my fucking game. And you think that I'm not going to burn the whole motherfucking place down? Metaphorically?
Right.
No, bitch. Nope. That's what's going to happen. You should not have done that. you should not have replaced my main character with a girl that did not even have big ass titties. You should have never even thought about that.
Replace the main character with a girl who is ugly and looks like a man. That's not what we wanted. No, we just wanted a man or a girl with big tits.
And you did. And this is what you get. Did you read why he was fired? He's not going to say why. He's not going to say the real reason why. He's not going to go and be like, I got fired for this one thing. Because it's probably 10 different things. The reality is. And that's it. You get what you fucking deserve. That's right. And so, yeah, absolutely. And so, like, that's really...
yeah, somebody in his chat said, we just wanted games to help us escape reality, but then they put their own reality in the games. Yeah, it's literally what happened. We wanted to escape reality when they put politics in it to try and bring us back to reality, so we'll think about things that are going on in the world. That's why we play video games, so we don't have to think about those things.
Did you say a Sam of Witcher 4? Well, no, because Witcher 4, because CD Projekt Red has earned my trust. I played Witcher 3 now. I think it's a tremendous, incredible game. I think Cyberpunk is an achievement that transcends Witcher 3 on multiple levels. I think that their commitment to improving the game and making it better indicates that they have a dedication to the...
Oh, yeah, but that Witcher show, though. That Witcher show. And also the people that are working at... I even forgot the company. CD Projekt Red, there, he said it already.
Quality of their craft. I think that that was also brought to a precipice with the DLC that was also amazing, that I hear from everybody. I have not played it yet, but I hear...
That was like over a decade ago that Witcher 3 came out, and also Cyberpunk was a bloody fucking mess, and they had to fix that game. And by the way, it was also... it was woke slop, too, in a lot of places. And there's a bunch of places where it could have obviously been better. But one of my favorite games of all time. So I don't know about that one. I just can't go back and play the Witcher games because I'm soured on it. I haven't played Witcher 3. I've played Witcher 1 and 2, and I've read some of the books.
From everybody that it was amazing. And so CD Projekt Red, I do not have that energy for. And also Serious Hot.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason it's not the same thing. So we sent another one back to McDonald's. But did they own the chuds? That's what's important here.
I'm not going to buy Witcher 4, but I'm also probably not going to talk about it. So, like, unless it's worth talking about. If they completely destroy Witcher with Witcher 4, seems like so far they're not. They just changed the main character for some reason. That was kind of a weird move. Literally just so they can have a woman main character. I don't get that. But if it's good, you know? If there's no identity politics in it, it's good. If it's a good game, it's a good game. I hope they don't Dragon Age the Veilguard it, though.
I want to let you guys know that every time, welcome back. See, now it's becoming more popular. Now they know what's happening. They're waiting for it, and they know what's going to come. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Every time that it happens is more content for me. I am a vampire.
Yep, same. I do this because of Asmongold. Actually, that's not why I started making content. I don't think I watched Asmongold until after I started my channel. There was a million reasons I wanted to make gaming content. Actually, when I originally started, I was doing music reactions. I wasn't even doing any of this kind of content.
And that's just the way it is.
Like, I was doing music reactions, and I was reacting to, like, cool videos, like science videos, and I was reacting to psychology and things like that, and it just kind of moved into this, and I don't know when it happened, it just slowly morphed into this, but I enjoy making this kind of content a lot more.
That's the way it is. Bro, we gonna play a woke Far Cry 7? Yeah. And they gonna get mad and say, and all these people like to say that I am to allow the National Guard to be deployed to Chicago. We know they want to prove it. He can do other stuff, right? I think he tries to go with it with one perspective. He needs to do multiple other things too. You might be celebrating prematurely. The person in charge of the company is the new French CEO's son. Yeah, the Guillermo's son. I know that, but read into what the new company is, and they had to transfer it to him for legal reasons so they could maintain control. But they did do I mean, like, I don't want to say made a Faustian pact deal with the devil, right? Because I don't think China is that. But like, that's basically what they did. They had to make a pact with them and get bailed.
Yeah, they made the pact with the place that they see as the devil.
Fuck out, because Tencent, at the end of the day, you might not like the way that China's politics are. You might not like the way that China does its government, or you.
But I fucking hate China's government. I fucking hate the way they do their politics. But you know, I'm weighing them against all the gay shit, you know, and all the political shit, all the like terrorist propaganda and all that, and it's just like China in this hand, gay shit in this hand. I'd much rather have China.
You might not like X, Y, or Z thing, the censorship, etc. But Tencent is such a big company. They do not give a fuck about any of that other than making money. They will adhere to the obligations that the government puts on them, but for the most part, they have their hand in so many cookie jars. They cannot even afford to invest energy into micromanaging the story of every single game.
Right? And another thing, like, they do change the way Tencent does things in China. But for the rest of the world, they kind of don't give a fuck unless it's like really against the Chinese government. Like, they're not going to put free Hong Kong or anything in any of their games.
That's the truth. They can't even do that. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't do that. So yeah. And they know what gamers want? Yeah, exactly. Boats and hoes. That's all it is. And so I did see this again, and yeah, I didn't walk away, and I'll go back. I'll look at a few more of the posts about this, but yeah, I want to say that this is another W. This is a huge W for gamers. Everybody's posting the same thing now. Hopefully DEI is dead and common sense prevails. It isn't dead. It is not dead.
It's going to get worse, actually. We're backing them into a corner. They've been backed into a corner, and now they're trying to claw at you to get out of the corner because they went back into the space. So it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse, and they're going to get into a lot of games that you didn't think that they were going to be involved in.
But it is, you got to, at this point, it's about stomping out the roaches that remain.
Yep.
Metaphorically. And that's what we do. And this was a big roach. It was a big roach. Yeah, it lost massive amounts of HP. Yeah, it's at 10% HP. And yeah, I stayed at my post. Yeah, exactly, bro. Like, exactly. The digital host, it told you Shadows was doing great, 5 million players. The thing is that everybody that said that, see, you know who you should listen to? Me.
Yeah, they're listening to places like IGN, GameSpot, PC Gamer, and they're like, all these articles that's been around for 40 years, 50 years are saying the opposite of what you're saying. So what they're saying must be true, and what you're saying is false because you're trying to create a reality that doesn't exist. No, we're being fucking real, dude. We see these patterns, and we're like, this is not going good, guys. And everybody's like, no, you're lying. And we're like, all we're doing is talking about it. We're not trying to shit on you. We're not trying to really shit on the games. We're just saying, hey, this isn't good. I can see where this is going, and I see why it's happening. And all of you freaks are either retarded or you know what's going to happen too, and you don't care. And you're trying to destroy culture. And like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. All of the glazers constantly. And I get people down there in the comments who like the games that I talk about being shit. And I'm like, that's cool. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the company and the games that they're making. Like, I like a lot of 6 out of 10s. I like a lot of 5 out of 10 games. I like some trash games, some bullshit, garbage games. So that's like a completely non-issue with the way I review games or the way games are reviewed. There can be some 9 out of 10 games where I'm just like, I don't like that. I'm not going to play it. And people will be like, well, you're just a fucking retard. And I'm like, oh, okay, I already knew that. But I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just saying how it is and what I'm seeing in front of my eyes. Don't believe your lying eyes. Let's get into some Antifa news, shall we? I'm done talking about some video games for the day. I'm done talking about the Twitch drama for the day. I want to see what's actually going on with this terrorist organization that I keep talking about, that I know a lot about, how they're being funded by international cartels. Like, even payment processors are like trickling money down to these freaks so they can slowly destroy everything so they can take over the world. But it's not just them. That's just a really good example. There's also investment firms. There's also like political parties, Democrats, even the Republicans, even a lot of Republicans, like Republican cells, are indirectly funding Antifa, kind of on purpose. Police are protecting Antifa now. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because the people that are paying these police departments are the same people that I've been talking about that fund all the terrorist organizations too.
Portland police have seemingly sided with Antifa to fight against federal law enforcement. Now, if this isn't the start of Civil War Part 2, these shootout...
Yeah, these are foreign actors. They're being paid by foreign actors.
In Los Angeles definitely is. But first, the Portland protesters always seemed confusingly competent facing off against the feds.
Knock the out! You Antifa! You fake Christian!
But as Nick sorta shows us, it's likely because the local police seemingly helped them build cases against federal agents.
Thank you, man.
So when these activists blasted ICE with bright lights, they were actually able to find protection getting security from
COVID. COVID was when this all took a turn. When they got rid of all of the good cops. All of the cops that were, you know, on the side of everything good. The ones who didn't want to take that bullshit vaccine. The ones who didn't want to listen to the draconian orders of the government. Dude, so many people quit. And all we got left are freaks, and then you hire more freaks. You know, I wonder what the hiring process is like for these cops.
Portland PD.
Nice aim! I love that! Whoa! Get the middle! Whoa!
They're hiding behind the sign. And they're running for cover behind Portland police. Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me.
We have no idea. Nobody told us anything, so we're standing there, we don't know what's going on. So, it's just like, she's literally running behind you guys. Yeah, we don't know why she's running. So.
Nice aim! I love that! Whoa.
Yeah, you that's another thing, dude. Like, where I'm from, if you run up behind police, they're probably going to beat the shit out of you immediately because they don't know what you're doing. You cannot get close to police doing something that they don't know what you're doing. Like, you got to get out of there. These people, they know. These cops, they know what is going on. They're antagonizing the people that they are antagonizing, and the cops are just like, well, I don't know what's going on, because they're pieces of garbage. And they become cops because they want to do things like this. It's like, the cops are just like, well, we don't know what they're doing, but the federal agents are like, well, we do, here's what they're doing, and the cops are still like, well, we don't know, we don't listen to you, you're not our bosses, you don't write our checks.
If the police can't see when federal agents fire pepper balls essentially right at their feet, maybe these guys aren't cut out to be PD. But I somehow doubt he's actually that dumb. It's more likely the Portland police are just conveniently not noticing when they're assisting these activists. And while playing stupid isn't a civil war, it's definitely where these left-leaning cities are heading. California just signed a bill that bans ICE agents from wearing masks to be enforced by their local PD.
I'm pretty sure that that got struck down.
And over in Illinois,
because literally there were bounties being placed on these guys' heads, which was also being called out as a lie at first, but it turns out it was fucking true.
They're thinking about how they can prosecute ICE agents. But who would actually do that? Possibly the illegals Illinois employs as police.
Dude, Illinois might be the worst state. Illinois, California, and New York, the worst states. And Illinois might be the worst out of all of them. Trust me, I live in Illinois. At least for now. I'm moving out very, very soon.
Police officer working in Illinois is an illegal immigrant. He has been living in the
How about
U.S.
that?
illegally for a decade after his tourist visa expired in 2015.
As insanely, this isn't the first time they've discovered non-citizen peace officers. And here we go again. Whenever the Democrats deny something is happening, it's always, that thing never happens. You're just fear-mongering. Okay, maybe it happens sometimes, but only very rarely, until it's finally, yeah, it happens a lot. But here's how it's a good thing. The same way they say the anti-ICE protests are mostly peaceful, only when ignoring the actual attacks activists are enacting on our ICE agents.
Actually, he forgot one. They'll say, here's how it's a good thing. And then we'll say, actually, no, you're a fucking evil liar. And they'll be like, well, here's how it's a good thing, and we don't care that you think it's a bad thing. And since you think it's a bad thing, we think it's a good thing, you're the one who's bad.
What starts as seemingly harmless, rich liberals instructing individuals to track ICE ends up being insanely dangerous actions of people proudly recording themselves impeding in law enforcement.
Yeah, and then they put up GoFundMes for each other, which GoFundMe, by the way, just gotten a lot of trouble for running millions. Or was it just over 1 million? But still, over 1 million accounts to take money from people for bogus donations. Like, bogus campaigns.
I don't give a You're gonna shoot a pregnant woman? Yeah, you're gonna shoot a pregnant woman? Yeah? Stop, no, please. He just put a gun on it. This piece of a man just pointed a gun at a pregnant woman. Right there, right there. I was going through this side. What are you talking about? My son is in the car too.
I honestly think she wants to be attacked, just so she can play the victim and blame the feds, because she's a terrible mother.
And, dude, the more that happens, the more that the law isn't gonna fucking care that you want to be attacked and it looks bad. Because we can see what you're doing, they can see what you're doing, and we're getting tired of it. Everything's gonna end up like Ireland was last night, and the night before. Was it the night before, or was it just last night? We're gonna get into it.
And we just saw the evidence. How some of them are getting off with warnings.
¿Por qué te vas, güey? Son unos perros. Son unos perros. Son unos perros.
Follow us, we're gonna arrest you.
Okay, arréstame. Arréstame.
They're gonna stop arresting people for following them if bullshit keeps happening and people keep crashing out. If they feel like they're being threatened, they're gonna start shooting back.
Arréstame. Arréstame, güey. ¿Tú qué? ¿Tú qué? Okay. Están maltratando mi gente, perros. Están maltratando mi gente, perros.
This is the same shit that happens in the Middle East that ends up causing civil war, by the way.
That doesn't matter,
and this too.
As just a few days ago in Chicago, it actually resulted in the ramming of ICE vehicles.
Chicago police who had remained at bay, now starting to put themselves in the middle of the, protesters are starting to throw rocks. We're going to get
just like terrorists do in Muslim countries.
So you take care of yourself. I'm going to let.
And this is definitely
This is white boy jihad. This is exactly what this is. And all the people that are like, Antifa isn't an organization, it's an idea. That's terrorism. They know what they're doing. They know what they're saying. They're gaslighting.
Escalating as today in Los Angeles, a TikToker allegedly rammed a federal agent and ended up being shot by the cops.
As a U.S. Marshal and
El Bozo.
An illegal alien were both shot in L.A. this morning. It was during an immigration operation. Both at this time, we are told, have non-life-threatening.
Is this the one where they surrounded the hospital? Where a bunch of Antifa freaks surrounded a hospital?
injuries. Fox is told that federal agents surrounded and boxed in a target. That target then rammed federal vehicles in an attempt to escape. The feds fired their weapons. One U.S. Marshal was hit.
This is definitely escalating quickly, as TikTokers just trying to gain internet fame have gone from playing stupid pranks to actually getting shot while committing federal felonies.
You know what's going to be real weird, and I think we're going to get there? I think there's going to be terrorist cells becoming entire police forces, and the federal agents are going to know this, and they're going to start shooting at each other. It's going to happen very, very soon. Very soon. And it's going to happen after we do what Ireland did, which I don't want to happen, but holy shit, I don't see any other way it goes.
And what's worse is the media still downplaying the attack. The local ABC affiliate headlines it with undocumented immigrant shot by federal agents, and in very small text, charged with assault on officer, while featuring him getting some award from the city council. KTLA reported it as federal agent and subject wounded in shooting in South LA, as most of the mainstream reporting is conveniently ignoring how this TikToker assaulted a federal officer with his car and is now facing 8 years in federal prison. But by all means, ABC, it's definitely more important to inform the general public how he once received an award before.
Oh, well, let's take a look at some information about ABC real quick. Oh, they are completely owned and operated by Disney. I wonder what Disney's been up to. Everybody knows what they've been up to. But who's invested in Disney? Because it trickles down. As of 2025, the largest shareholders include Vanguard at 8.71%, BlackRock 4.41%, State Street Global Advisors 4.39%, Geode Capital 2.2%, JP Morgan Asset Management. How much is that all together? Let's see. Let's just call that. Let's combine these two and call that 9. So 9 plus 4, that's 13. 13 plus 4, that's 17. Let's call this, we'll just say this is 2. So 17 plus 2, 19. 21% by the top 5 investment firms, international investment firms who do not care about the United States, who actually want the United States to fall, and they invest in wars all across the globe. How about that? So this says right here, this is immediately bullshit. Antifa is not a formal organization and does not have direct financial ties to international investment firms. Well, if it's not a formal organization, just, go look up their websites. Because they have members, they take money, they take donations, they have cells all over the world. However, some progressive philanthropic networks, such as George Soros's Open Society Foundation, the Arabella Advisors Network, and Tides Foundation, have funded social justice and civil rights groups that critics sometimes associate with Antifa-related activism. These include organizations within the Movement for Black Lives Matter, and groups providing bail and legal support to protesters. Reports from September-October 2025 allege over $80 million in grants from such foundations to progressive... Okay, all right. So how about what are the ties from this to Disney? There is no direct connection between Antifa and Disney. However, George Soros, through his investment firm, Soros Fund Management, holds a minor stake in Disney stock, less than 1% of his portfolio as of recent filings. Yeah, 1%, less than 1% of his portfolio. He's invested in so much, dude. While Soros also funds progressive causes via the Open Society Foundations, which some conservative sources speculate may indirectly support movements aligned with Antifa's ideology. There is no evidence that these funds directly finance Antifa or violent activities. Yes, there is, actually. Disney itself is primarily owned by large institutional investors like Vanguard and BlackRock, not Soros. But they're all the same people. They're all the same people. They all go to the same events. They all are invested in the same companies.
Before getting shot by the cops. I wouldn't be surprised if by tomorrow they start showing photos from his high school graduation, making this about Trump terrorizing the community and not how the left-wing media is causing more immigrants to be shot. As remember in Texas, when that psycho fired rounds into the ICE facility, he only hit immigrants inside, ending one of their lives. Even rewinding 3 months ago on the ICE raids outside of Los Angeles, where a legal immigrant was evading authorities and tragically fell to his death.
Because Trump has gone too far, even for his own supporters.
I wonder where he gets his money. Huh, I wonder. A guy that's saying, it's like everybody who comes out like this, who is against actual law and order, where do they get their money? How much money do they make? Because they're not making the money that they're making from just being a senator or a representative or, you know, a politician in office, because they don't make that much money, actually. And these people tend to be millionaires, multimillionaires, who take funds from all kinds of people in all kinds of places. Usually other evil leftoid freaks they're all tied together, man.
When a farm worker who falls to their death during an ICE raid, we know it's gone too far.
Which is a complete fucking lie, dude. If you actually watch the video of that, I know the instance he's talking about. And he doesn't mention what was going on there, why they were being raided.
When masked agents come out of unmarked cars and disappear people, that is intentionally created.
They're not disappearing people. It just doesn't get reported on anymore where they're going. Because you know where they usually go? They go to be prepared to go in front of the judge to have their due process that you say isn't happening. You just stop reporting it, and then you report it incorrectly. And then everybody says, there's no due process. When literally, that's what is happening. The due process is they get arrested, then they go in front of a judge. That's due process.
Chaos.
All of this could have been avoided if the Democrats simply allowed federal agents into sanctuary city.
Well, they're being funded by all the same shit. Democrats is a terrorist organization. That's all there is to that.
Courthouses to make arrests immediately after individuals lose their case, or at the very least stop making inflammatory statements against ICE agents, encouraging and rewarding the attacks in the streets, causing more people to get hurt.
Dude, we're gonna end up like Ireland, where they're gonna start weaponizing the police and the military against these fucking freaks, and I don't want that to happen, but that's seemingly the only way it's gonna go.
But they're not about actually protecting these people, they're about villainizing Trump to try to win the next election. And if they gotta start a civil war between the Portland police and the National Guard, they're probably salivating at how they can frame this as another reason the Orange Man is bad. So if you...
Yeah, and guess what? All of the things that Trump's been doing, it's light compared to what they were doing to Trump and all of us during the Biden administration. And I'm not one to be like, oh, Biden, oh, the Democrats. But at this point, I am like that because they're all funded by terrorists. They all act like terrorists. They constantly lie. They constantly lie and lie and lie and manipulate. And all I'm seeing from Trump is memes and no lies. They end up doing the things that they're saying they're doing and say they're going to do. Except for the Epstein thing. That was a weird one. But I don't know anything about that situation. You don't know anything about that situation. They don't know anything about that situation. Nobody does. I don't even think Trump knows about that situation. I think it goes so deep. It runs so deep throughout the entire world. So many people are tied up in it. And it's not just the child sex trafficking thing. There's so much other things. So many things. War. Actual international war tied up with the Epstein case. So I don't think we're ever going to hear anything about it, because if we do, it probably literally will cause a global civil war, which we're headed toward anyway. That'll just speed things up. Dude, it's getting so weird. It's getting so bad. It's getting so bad everywhere. I'm just going to pray to my God, Jesus, and just, wait for that day to come, I guess. I'm not waiting with excitement. I am waiting with sadness, because there's so many people that just aren't going to come and bask in the glory of the Lord, So fucking sad. So fucking sad. Well, here's our future right in front of us, right here. Dublin police condemn thuggery after protest outside hotel housing asylum seekers turns violent. Riots erupt in Dublin after migrant rapes 10-year-old girl, says report. Wow, that was a lot. I saw Asmongold talk about this. I immediately clicked off because I was like, whoa, I need to react to this and talk about it. This is crazy. It is one of the things that he's been talking about that's going to happen, and it's one of the things that I've been talking about is going to happen, and I think it's going to start a domino effect where it's going to happen all around the world, including in the United States. It's going to be real bad here because you've seen the way the leftoids are violent, and I think it's going to lead to civil war.
When are riots warranted? It's an interesting question, and I'm sure we all have answers, but the truth is we will condemn the riots when the moral issue is not aligned with our moral issue. That's why I think it's silly that so many people on the right have long played this game of some kind of like universal morality. And it's just not the case, and this story is going to prove it.
Yeah.
This is the story of the riots in Dublin.
Dude, you don't know the opinions that other people have, really. I mean, you can pretend that you know, and you can tell them that they're freaks and they're Nazis, but like, you do it enough times, dude, that you get these kinds of situations.
A 10-year-old girl was reportedly raped by a migrant.
Yeah, like, when's enough? That really. Eventually, if nothing is done and it keeps happening and keeps getting worse and people keep screaming at the top of their lungs like, hey, we need help, this is destroying everything, and nobody's listening, and they're actually saying, well, you don't need help because you're a white Nazi, then you're gonna get them they're gonna have no other option. And I think this is gonna lead to the militarization of police against illegal immigrants and anybody that was for illegal immigrants in Ireland. And it's gonna happen in a lot more places all around the world. And what's the alternative? Is the military gonna come in and just end the lives of all of these people that are rioting because they'd rather the illegal immigrants there? They think anybody who doesn't want illegal immigrants in their place is evil and must be eradicated. People in the streets say that.
It reminds me of that scene in V for Vendetta when the inspector is narrating what he thinks is going to happen. He says, eventually someone will do something stupid. And it shows that little girl skipping down the street with the Guy Fawkes mask when a finger man, a cop, shoots her in the back, killing her. And then all the locals surround him, and his badge is meaningless, and they beat him to death. Now, when you watch that movie, what are you supposed to feel when you watch that little girl die? The scene is set up in such a way that the little girl is doing nothing wrong. She's just playing and skipping down the street. Just so happens she's displaying a political symbol. The police officer shoots and kills her. An extreme action that is certainly not warranted. You're supposed to feel, to a certain degree, satisfaction watching that law enforcement officer who you know just committed an evil face some kind of justice. It is. Now, perhaps those of us who understand the fear of social degradation would say, we don't want random mobs of people just beating cops. This instance is specific.
Yeah, also, what do you do? What else do you do if the government is on the side of the cop who did that? Or the people that are in the government? Like, what do you do at that point? It's so fishy. It's so sketchy. It's so, like, evil.
Now, in this story with the riots, you have people setting fire to police vehicles. Am I going to condemn that? To a certain degree. To a certain degree. However,
what else? What other options are they left with? Like, their country was literally being taken over by freaks, and they were allowing illegal immigrants in to completely destroy their culture, and they were being told they were the ones who were wrong.
There comes a line, doesn't there? And the moral line is the real question about what's going on. Why would it be bad for the left to riot against Donald Trump, but good for those in Dublin to riot against their government? Riots are bad. Violence is wrong. Well, the issue is our moral line. And you can answer this question right now. I know you can. I know you understand it. Does it make sense to riot and burn down buildings, firebomb vehicles?
It's funny because I condemn this riot outright. Like, this should not be happening. I think that, like, it sucks that this happened to that girl, but like, there are worse things to riot about, I think, and usually it's whenever your citizens are actually being killed, like by lots, like what happens in Muslim countries a lot. I think rioting in those places sometimes, you literally have no other option. I think there were other options in this instance. I think people are just upset. They're angry. But also, it's clear to me what they're rioting about and the message they're sending by rioting. On the left, whenever they riot, it's always lies and manipulation and obviously the wrong reason. And it's almost like they know it. And they're just rioting just to riot. In this case, you can actually feel the anger. So I really don't know how I feel about this.
Because a man who was doing drugs died during an arrest? No.
Right?
It doesn't.
Exactly.
In the true facts of the case surrounding George Floyd, those riots certainly were not warranted. Does it make sense to riot against law enforcement when they protect men who are raping children as young as 10 years old? Now you got yourself there an interesting question. I'm not going to condone rioting in general, but I'm going to say that you understand full well the same as I do. The emotion that we get from these two circumstances are certainly not the same. There is a time and a place when revolt makes sense. The Dublin police condemn the thuggery after protests outside hotel housing asylum seekers turns violent.
I think a huge problem that Ireland has is there's not really anywhere to go in Ireland. Ireland's not a very big place, and it's basically run by the UK. In the United States, if you got a city that is bullshit, you can just leave. You can just go somewhere else where it's nice and quiet and none of that's happening. So I don't see stuff like this, people getting angry. I think people get angry to the point where there will actually be a civil war without riots like this happening from the right.
Arrests made after crowd hurled fireworks and other missiles at officers during a protest following alleged sexual assault on young girl. The story is horrifying. 6 people have been arrested. The riots are pretty crazy. We do have some video I can show you from Rebel News. We'll play this clip for you. You can see the police vehicle set on fire. Fireworks being launched. Irish individuals launching fireworks at police. Very reminiscent to what we see in Portland with the far left. But are you mad? Who are you mad at? I know who you're mad at. You're mad at the police and the government of Ireland for protecting illegal immigrants, quote-unquote asylum seekers, and African migrants who rape little girls. We know it's happening in the UK.
Yeah, this one makes sense, even though I think it should not be happening. At least we can see why, and it's understandable. And also, they have nowhere else to go. They just have to live with this, and they're tired of it. They can't just leave and go to another city or another state because there's not really anything. I mean, there are cities in Ireland, but they're all the same. And if you go out into the country, there's nothing there. In America, you go out into the country, there's like small towns that are connected to cities.
We now have a story of it happening in Ireland. They say it's alleged, it is reportedly, that an African migrant in his 20s, he's being accused of raping a 10-year-old child. And the police, they're protecting these individuals. So your morals are clear, right? Well, on the left, that feeling you get, they have the same feeling towards ICE deporting illegal immigrants. They think people should be allowed to do whatever they want, walk and go wherever they want, and you oppose this. In what reality would anyone agree with the government protecting child rapists? Strange, isn't it? So, of course, people are going to riot. The Garda, I can't pronounce this, is it Síochána? The Irish police force, said officers were subject to sustained violence as protesters launched bricks, glass bottles, and fireworks, resulting in the 6 arrests. This is obviously not a peaceful protest. The actions this evening can only be described as thuggery. This was a mob intent on violence against Garda. The disturbances flared a day after a man was charged in connection with an alleged sexual assault. Local media reported that he was a 26-year-old asylum seeker and that the alleged victim was a 10-year-old who was attacked at or near the City West facility which is in the Sagart area. A small protest outside the facility passed peacefully on Monday, but on Tuesday night, a far larger crowd threw rocks and traffic cones. A police van was also torched.
Man, them Irish, they're pretty fucking crazy, right?
Police, some with riot shields, helmets, and horses, pushed the crowd back. The Justice and Migration Minister, Jim McCallahan, condemned the disturbances. Unfortunately, the weaponizing of a crime by people who wish to sow dissent in our society is not unexpected.
And there you go. That kind of energy pisses people off. And like, they want these things to happen. They're like, all of you people out there, you're just thugs and degenerates. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll be thugs and degenerates. Like, they're poking people on purpose. It's so easy to see what the fuck is going on.
This is unacceptable and will result in a forceful response from the Gardaí. I'm just going to say this, guys. Ireland is conquered.
Yep.
It is completely conquered, and it's quite hilarious.
There's about to be a major shakeup, and I think we are entering a global civil war. We like to talk about civil war in the United States. I think before we get to that point, it's going to be all over the world, and it's going to be a domino effect in countries that we've never seen anything like this in the modern world.
Let me pull up Sinn Féin. I love this narrative. Let's grab this here Wikipedia entry for Sinn Féin. They're the leftists in Ireland, founded in 1905. Interesting. They say the original Sinn Féin organization, founded in 1905 by Arthur Griffith, was founded in 1905. Its members founded the Revolutionary Irish Republic and its parliament, the first Gaelic. Is it Gaelic? I can't pronounce it. Gaelic. And many of them were active in the Irish War of Independence, during which the party was associated with the Irish Republican Army from 1919 to 1922. The party split before the Irish Civil War again, etc., etc., etc. During the Troubles, Sinn Féin was associated with the Provisional Irish Republican Army. For most of that conflict, it was affected by broadcasting bans in the Irish and British media. Although the party sat on local councils, it maintained a policy of abstentionism for the British House of Commons and the Irish Dáil. I can't pronounce Gaelic, guys. Sorry. You know, I gotta tell you, Irish words are pronounced nowhere near as like the way they're written. Gaelic. Standing for elections to those legislatures, but pledging not to take their seats if elected. After Gerry Adams became the party leader in 1983, electoral politics were prioritized increasingly. In 1986, the party dropped its abstentionist policy. Some members formed Republican Sinn Féin in protest. In the 1990s, Sinn Féin, under the leadership of Adams and Martin McGuinness, was involved in the Northern Ireland peace process. This led to the Good Friday Agreement and created the Northern Ireland Assembly, and saw Sinn Féin become part of the power-sharing Northern Ireland Executive. In 2006, it co-signed the St. Andrews Agreement and agreed to support the police service of Northern Ireland. Sinn Féin is the largest party in the Northern Ireland Assembly, having won the largest share of first preference votes, etc., so we understand. The name comes, the phrase Sinn Féin is Irish for ourselves, we ourselves. Really? Although it's frequently mistranslated to ourselves alone, the name is an assertion of Irish national sovereignty and self-determination. I love it. Isn't that funny? Sinn Féin is the party of the provisional IRA. These were Ireland for the Irish. Irish reunification. Irish Republican paramilitaries who were engaged in terror attacks in support of Ireland for the Irish. Boy, has Ireland been conquered. Talk about a successful campaign. The Troubles were in the late 80s and early 90s, or I suppose for some time, right? Man, it's really incredible how the IRA, Sinn Féin, we ourselves, is now the party of Ireland for anyone. That's incredible, isn't it?
That's crazy, right?
That party has been crushed, conquered, destroyed, their ideology ripped asunder.
Yep, it was a bunch of freaks just wiggled their way in, started changing things, started arresting people, you know, started lying about people, started changing culture, making it not viable for people to be in these positions. That's what fucking happens, dude. It's what happens in all of the entertainment industry, gaming industry, comic industry. Like I just know mostly about entertainment, but that's what happened there. And it also happens in the government. It also happens in other governments. It happens everywhere, all around the world. Whenever there's something that they don't like, they slowly change it. They slowly become a part of it. Just look at how Ubisoft ended up selling off a bunch of their IPs to China. They had to pretend that they built a new company to put these games under and hand it off to Tencent in China, called Vagrant Studios. It's a shell company. This is what these people fucking do. In that instance, it was the opposite, and it was actually a good thing, in my opinion. But they do this shit.
98 to 2017. Under the 1997 Irish general election, I can't read that guy's name. He was elected, and doing so became the first person under the Sinn Féin banner to be elected to Leinster House since 1957. The party expelled Dennis Donaldson, the party official. Well, basically now, Sinn Féin is pro-EU, pro-globalist, pro-asylum, woke, leftist, all of that stuff.
You know why? Because a bunch of people got into there that cared more about money and power and international money than they did about actually upholding what everybody in that country wants. Because EU, like we've been saying for years and years and years, and all these international organizations and international corporations, they want a one world government, new world order. And it seems like it's happening more and more and more, and it's causing people to get pissed off and burn down their countries. And I think that's probably one of the things that all of these freaks want in the first place. They want these people to burn down everything, to get rid of the police, so it'd be easy for another military to come in and conquer them. They don't even have to do it with force. They can just do it with sliding in while you're not paying attention. While they've got a bunch of stupid people by the balls and saying like, oh, you better watch our thing. Don't watch their thing. Those are Nazis. All right, I'm tired of talking about this. I've got a link down there in the comments. You should definitely click it. Donate to the Fables Folly Farm.